Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Farhan Asparro, Assistant Professor, Om Sterling Global University, Hisar. Welcome you in the National Conference of Scientific Research and Practices on Physical, Mental, and Art Skill for Social and Sustainable Development. Now it's time to begin a technical session. Our first participant for the technical session is Mr. Miss Updesh Kumari.
पहले इनके ना मेरे बॉस ने मैंने को इनवाइट करो स्टेज पे चेयरपर्सन और को चेयरपर्सन कीजिए इनवाइट करना है
All right, before we begin, let us have our chairperson and the co-chairperson for today's session, uh, Dr. N.P. Giri sir and Dr. Sunil Banda. Sir, you are requested to be on stage, please. I also request Dr. Rekha to be on stage as chair. Thank you, all of you. Now, our first participant is Miss Udesh Kumari, who is going to present offline mode. So I request Ms. Udesh Kumari to be there on stage. Okay, thank you.
ठीक है करते हैं
Respected chairperson, all faculty members and all research scholars, सभी को मेरी ओर से नमस्ते। मेरा नाम उपदेश, मैं OSGU से PhD कर रही हूँ और आज का जो मेरा पेपर का टॉपिक है वह है भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस व भारतीय जनता पार्टी का लोकसभा चुनाव में समर्थन क्षेत्र। मेरे जो पेपर का मुख्य जो फैक्ट्स हैं वो इस तरह से हैं। जो रिसर्च पेपर है उसमें भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस व भारतीय जनता पार्टी दो मुख्य पार्टीज हैं। उसमें मैं 2009, 2014, 2019 के दौरान हरियाणा प्रांत में व इनके समर्थन क्षेत्रों का अध्ययन कर रही हूँ। शोध की जो प्रकृति है वो भौगोलिक है और विवेचनात्मक है, जिसमें मैं मैप के थ्रू रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हूँ डाटाज को। आंकड़ों का मुख्य सोर्स है इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया। इसमें मैं सांख्यिकी रिपोर्ट प्रेजेंट कर रही हूँ। भारतीय राजनीति में मुख्य रूप से दो पार्टियां रही हैं, एक बीजेपी और एक भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस। कांग्रेस भारत का सबसे पुराना राजनीतिक दल है, जिसका गठन उपनिवेशिक काल में ही 1885 में हुआ था, यानी कि जैसे हम आजाद हुए उससे पहले का है। और बीजेपी के जन्म व उदय की संपूर्ण कहानी स्वतंत्रता के बाद की है, यानी कि ये अभी उभरती हुई पार्टी है। अखिल भारतीय जनसंघ के रूप में 1951 में अस्तित्व में आई। यह राजनीतिक दल 1977 तक भारतीय जनसंघ बीजेएस और जनसंघ यानी कि जेएस के नाम से जाना गया। 1977 में इस दल को जनता पार्टी के साथ विलय किया गया, परंतु 1980 में जनता पार्टी के एक धड़े ने अलग होकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी नाम के राजनीतिक दल का गठन किया। इसके जो सपोर्टिव एरिया है, जो मैं समर्थन क्षेत्र मुख्य रूप से देख रही हूँ, वो इस प्रकार से है। पहले बता दूं कि समर्थन क्षेत्र वो होते हैं जिसमें किसी भी राजनीतिक दल को, किसी एक पर्टिकुलर पार्टी को, किसी एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया से कितना मतदान प्रतिशत प्राप्त हुआ है। मुख्य जो एरिया है, जिस क्षेत्र में किसी भी राजनीतिक दल को 40% से अधिक औसत मतदान प्राप्त हुआ है वो, और वह उस राजनीतिक दल के मुख्य समर्थन क्षेत्र को दर्शाता है। जो गौण क्षेत्र है वो है किसी राजनीतिक दल को अगर 40% से कम औसत मतदान प्राप्त हुआ है उसको गौण और समर्थन क्षेत्र में हम रखेंगे। अब है मुख्य जो स्पोर्टेड एरिया है, भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस के मुख्य क्षेत्र का निर्माण रोहतक और सोनीपत एरिया में हम देखेंगे। सब आगे जैसे मैप आएगा उसमें, यदि इसमें पार्टी के हृदय स्थल की बात हो, यानी कि मेन जहां से मतदान प्रतिशत प्राप्त हुआ, वो रोहतक लोकसभा क्षेत्र सर्वप्रमुख क्षेत्र है, जहां से पार्टी ने 50% से भी अधिक औसत मतदान प्राप्त किया है। अगर इसी के गौण क्षेत्रों को हम देखें तो रोहतक सोनीपत लोकसभा क्षेत्र के अतिरिक्त कांग्रेस पार्टी सभी 8 लोकसभा क्षेत्रों में गौण हो चुकी है। जैसे हम इस मैप के थ्रू देख रहे हैं कि रोहतक और सोनीपत में मुख्य रूप से यानी कि 50% तक इसको वोटिंग प्राप्त हुई है, और इससे नीचे अगर हम देखें तो 30% से भी कम सिरसा, फतेहाबाद, हिसार और अंबाला, कुरुक्षेत्र, करनाल की तरफ है, यहाँ यानी कि यहाँ सबसे कम इसको मतदान प्राप्त हुआ है। अब हम समर्थन क्षेत्र और गौण जो समर्थन क्षेत्र है उसमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी को देखते हैं। इसमें मुख्य रूप से सबसे ज्यादा जो है यानी कि 40% प्लस कह लो, या फिर 40% जो है अंबाला, कुरुक्षेत्र, करनाल, हिसार, भिवानी, महेंद्रगढ़, गुड़गांव, फरीदाबाद लोकसभा क्षेत्रों से मिला, यानी कि मैक्सिमम जो ज्यादा समर्थन क्षेत्र हैं वो यही हैं। इसके गौण समर्थन क्षेत्र है वो रोहतक और सोनीपत, यानी कि कांग्रेस जहां 40% से अबोव प्राप्त कर रही है, वहीं बीजेपी सबसे कम ले रही है। जैसे इस मैप में है कि 30% से जो कम है वो सिरसा, फतेहाबाद है, और ज्यादा है वो महेंद्रगढ़ है, पानीपत और सोनीपत है, अंबाला और कुरुक्षेत्र है, अंबाला और फतेहाबाद। अगर हम इसी समर्थन एरिया के कंक्लूजन पे पहुंचे तो जहां तक दोनों राजनीतिक दलों के समर्थन क्षेत्रों की बात है तो कांग्रेस पार्टी के समर्थन क्षेत्र में 2009 के बाद तीव्र संकुचन हुआ है और दल का मुख्य समर्थन क्षेत्र रोहतक और सोनीपत लोकसभा क्षेत्र तक ही रह गए हैं। और जहां तक भाजपा के समर्थन क्षेत्र का विषय है तो एक तथ्य स्पष्ट है कि भाजपा हरियाणा में 2014 के चुनाव के बाद ही मुख्य रूप से उभर कर आया हुआ दल है। भाजपा का समर्थन क्षेत्र मुख्यतः कांग्रेस के समर्थन क्षेत्र के सिकुड़ने से प्राप्त हुआ है। अंबाला, कुरुक्षेत्र, करनाल, हिसार, भिवानी, महेंद्रगढ़, गुड़गांव व फरीदाबाद भाजपा के मुख्य समर्थन क्षेत्र है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Updesh. Now we have the next participant, that is Ms. Sonal from Hisar, and she's also going to present online offline mode.
पीपीटी के साथ कुछ और भी
इसमें आगे कैसे होगा? अब
बता देना, यहाँ से कर देना।
ठीक है। Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sonal, Research Scholar, Department of Geography, Om Sterling Global University. Title of my research paper is Natural Resources and Socio-Economic Changes in Haryana during 2001 to 2021. These are few research paper I have studied to prepare this my research paper. At Jeffrey Ronald in Socio-Economic Aspects of Natural Resources, Cameron Zaharia in the Natural Resources and Sustainable Development, Aiza Shabir in the role of natural resources in economic growth, A.K. Singh in natural resources management, and Nandini N in conversation of wild and cultivated fruits resources of Bangalore. And also I have taken help of Economic Survey of Haryana 2021-22. These are few keywords which are there in my research paper: natural resources, Haryana, GSDP, and renewable resources. We all know that everything existing on this earth is a natural resource, including air, water, soil, sunlight, petroleum, coal, etc. Natural resources are basically those resources which are used by us either in raw form or modified form for our survival. Natural resources are mainly classified as renewable and non-renewable resources. These are example of some renewable energies which we take from renewable resources like solar energy, biomass energy, wind energy, water energy, and these are example of some non-renewable energies like coal, fossil fuel, nuclear energy, natural gas, etc. My study area is Haryana, state of Haryana, which has geographical area of 44,212 square kilometer, and it is lying between 27 degree to 30 degree north latitude and 78 degree to 77 degree longitude. This is my study area of Haryana. I have collected all my data from secondary sources only, like from websites of Haryana and from few journals and research articles. So uh, the study shows the growth in GSDP and at current price is almost 4 times than the GSDP of 2011-12, that was 29 2,97,538 crores to uh, 8,95,671 crores, and it has almost doubled at the constant price of 2011 and 12 to now that is 2021 to 22. The study also shows that the government is earning revenue from those minerals which are also present in Haryana. That is 88 crores in 2011-12 to now it has reached to 1020 crores in 2021. These are few schemes and programs which are launched by Haryana government, like solar water pumping program, uh, which is मतलब इसमें ये है कि इरिगेशन के लिए जो हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट है ना वो डीजल पंप्स की जगह सोलर पंप्स यूज करने के लिए किसानों को इनकरेज कर रही है और उन्हें मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट्स वगैरह भी दे रही है। नेक्स्ट है सोलर पावर प्लांट प्रोग्राम। इसमें गवर्नमेंट जो है रूफ टॉप के ऊपर सोलर सिस्टम्स लगाने के लिए वो दे रही है, पैसे वगैरह दे रही है ताकि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल भी कम आए और जो हम दूसरे सोर्सेज से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं वो भी कमी आए उसमें। नेक्स्ट है बायोमास पावर प्रोजेक्ट। इसमें राइस से जो राइस के कटिंग के बाद जो वो बच जाता है उससे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बना के वो वाली इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के गवर्नमेंट जो है वो प्रोड्यूस करने की कोशिश कर रही है। नेक्स्ट है सोलर इन्वर्टर चार्जर प्रोग्राम। इसमें जो इन्वर्टर्स हैं उसको सोलर पैनल्स के द्वारा चार्ज किया जाता है और इंस्टॉलेशन ऑफ सोलर पावर प्लांट्स इन गौशालाज। इसमें जितनी भी हरियाणा में गौशालाज हैं उसमें सोलर पावर प्लांट्स को इंस्टॉल किया गया है। इसमें हम कंक्लूजन ये निकालते हैं कि हरियाणा इज मेकिंग गुड यूज ऑफ इट्स नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज लाइक सॉइल, लैंड, मिनरल्स एटसेट्रा, but it is also trying to move ahead in the field of renewable resources. Investments on resources for generation of electricity or energy from non-conventional resources like sunlight and biomass is also a good step by government, and it should be enhanced, and even common people should be encouraged to use the renewable source in day-to-day life like electric vehicles, solar panels, or each rooftop, etc. These steps will not only increase the socio-economic status of the state but also will help in the saving the environment and nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonal. Do we have any question from Sonal? All right. Now we have another participant, that is Anjali Sharma from Hisar, and she's going to present on prejudice, social change, and uncertainty through offline mode.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. I am Anjali, going to present my research paper, which is titled Residues, Social Change and Uncertainty. And I extend my thanks to all the dignitaries who gave me opportunity to present my research paper over here. And my topic is prejudice, social change, and uncertainty. First of all, we go through with the introduction. The study examines how shifting aims affect feminism as an ideology. The needs and thoughts of individuals vary with time, thus, society does too. Movement members' views and experiences from an ideology, the objectives and the way of thinking changed as time went on. Feminism began for social equality but changed in recent decades. The research looks at the past and present of ideology as well as what people want from it. Feminism in India shaped several laws and regulations. The paper discusses feminist aims and current issues. The study explains why feminism went through numerous waves and changed throughout time. Women introduction, the women's suffrage. Fighting for the right to vote was necessary. B.R. Ambedkar made sure that women had the same right to vote when he was writing the constitution. He didn't want Indian women to suffer as Western women did for their right to vote. The second group of feminism was started so that men and women would have the same rights in politics and jobs. The slogan, as personal as it is political, has become very popular since then. After the wars, there were no more movements in favor of feminism. Feminists used to say that their movements were necessary because a society dominated by man had artificially confined women to the home, where they were called homemakers. But no one tried to listen to what they wanted. In every part of society, women faced discrimination. Even at work, the pay and opportunities were very different for men and women. In India, women from higher classes were respected, but what about the rest of society? In every part of their lives, they were still having trouble. The wave was a protest against violence in the home and sexual harassment of women. This gave feminists a large audience to spread their ideas. The autonomous women's movement brought attention to the problem of violence against women in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Many feminist scholars think it's a problem that the second wave, which was made up of baby boomers, was split into two groups. Indian feminism aims across time. In India, the movement was started by men, but later women joined the movement to help women get ahead. The main goal was to get rid of bad things in the society, like the sati system, in which widows were burned alive on the funeral pyre of their husbands. If we really think about it, this is one of the most unfair ways to treat women. A woman's life was tied to her husband. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was the person who did the most to stop this social evil. Feminism and uncertainty. With changing times, feminism has followed several paths. India's philosophy is developing. Discussing menstruation is still taboo. Many homes force young girls and women to sleep on floors and not to touch anything. It persists in the 21st century like untouchability. Originally, women were not permitted in the kitchen so that they could relax from their daily responsibility, but today it's an imposition. India introduced period leave in 1990s. Conclusion, technology has evened out the difference between men and women, but there was a time when people had more power, which gave them more chances. After doing the research, it's clear that yes, feminism goals are changing, and it's because of all the changes and problems that women face in society. In terms of our research gap, we were able to figure out that yes, our feminism goals change all the time, and the reason is that society changes, and so do people's ideas about what is right and wrong. If we want to stay in society, we need to change our goals and motivations. The title tells us the answer to the research question. Yes, society is changing because goals are changing. Because each problem needs a different solution in order to reach the goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. It was such a wonderful presentation. Now we have another participant, that is Vineet Kumar, PhD scholar law, and he's going to speak on critical analysis of dying declaration in Indian Evidence Act 1872. And he is going to present through offline mode.
Good afternoon to all of you. First of all, a special thanks to dignitaries for giving this golden opportunity to present here the national conference. To me, this is really a special thanks. Here is the abstract. The term of dying declaration is related with subject matter of Sir James Stephens Indian Evidence Act 1872. And my topic relates to the thought of a witness who makes the statement on the deathbed, reveals the reason for such circumstances to put him at the verge of the death, and thereafter the person who is authorized and in what manner to record such statement, as well as the points to be checked and determined while recording such kind of statement. After recording that statement, what's the relevancy of that statement and up to what extent it is admissible in the court of justice as per finding of Privy Council and Supreme Court with the passage of time. Here is the introduction. A man is a social animal who lives in a civilized society maintained by law and order with the help of three organs of the government. First is the legislature who makes the law. Second, the executive enforces the law. And third, judiciary interpret the law and provide remedy in case of its violation. And every trial is a voyage of discovery where truth is the quest, and the judge needs to open every avenue for the purpose of fair trial and impartial justice. Evidence Act plays the impartial role for this purpose, and Bentham quoted that witnesses are eye and ear of the court of justice. The nature of Evidence Act is lex fori, that is, law of the court, which deals with the procedure and applies to both civil as well as criminal law. And my today's topic is dying declaration related with the Evidence Act. Meaning of dying declaration is that the statement suffered by a person cause of its own death or death of any other person in the course of same transaction. It may or may not under the expectation of death. And here is the definition. It is well known fact that the term of dying declaration is not defined elsewhere in the statute. However, it has been elaborated during British era by Privy Council and after independence by Honorable Supreme Court of India in Catena of Judgment. The statutory provision has been given in our Indian Evidence Act 1872, which was drafted by Sir James Stephens, and its Section 32 Clause 1 deals with relevancy and admissibility of dying declaration, which states that when the statement is made by a person as to cause of his death or as to any of the circumstances of the transaction which resulted in his death, in cases in which the cause of that person's death comes into question, such statements are relevant whether the person who made them was or was not at the time when they were made under the expectation of death, and whatever may be the nature of proceeding in which the cause of death comes into question. At the outset, dying declaration was limited within the precinct of the statement made by the person to cause of his own death, but later on in the landmark judgment of title as the Tejram Patil vs. State of Maharashtra in 2015, Honorable Supreme Court opened that dying declaration is admissible not only in relation to cause of own death but also the death of any other person in the course of same transaction. Here is the objective. The main source of Indian law is based on the custom, having devotional motive. Soul of the deceased rest in the peace in heavenly abode if culprit who is murderer gets adequate conviction by putting him behind the bar. Moreover, the golden thread which runs through the web of jurisprudence is that the miscarriage of justice must be avoided. The phenomena of dying declaration is based on the Latin maxim pronounced by Sir Matthew Arnold, that is the Num moritur prae sumitir montaer, meaning thereby is, no man shall meet with his maker with the lie mouth. Therefore, the genesis of dying declaration is based on the spiritual presumption is that the person on the deathbed always speaks the truth. And mode of recording the dying declaration. There is no straitjacket formula to record the dying declaration, and it may be recorded either orally or in the written. In case of Queen Empress versus Abdullah, in 1885, Privy Council held that even the sign and the gesture are also admissible in evidence whenever the witness is unable to speak. And the aforesaid observation was reaffirmed by Honorable Supreme Court in a number of cases and recently in the Nirbhaya gang rape case judgment also. The dying declaration recorded by whom? There is not any hard and fast rule vesting the authority to a particular person for recording the dying declaration. Dying declaration may be recorded by any police officer, magistrate or doctor. And what happens if maker of the statement survives? After the death of the maker of the statement, such statement converts into dying declaration. But what happens if maker of the statement survives? It was answered by Honorable Supreme Court in case of State of UP versus Veer Singh AIR 2004. It is titled that when maker of the purported dying declaration survives, the same is not the statement under Section 32 of Evidence Act, but it is the statement in the terms of Section 164 of Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, and it can be used to contradict or corroborate the testimony of the witnesses under Section 145 and 157 of the Evidence Act respectively. And exception to the principle of hearsay. Hearsay evidence are indirect kind of evidence which neither seen, heard or perceived by senses directly, but collected by second-hand sources, and the same is admissible due to lack of reliable resources and consistencies. But dying declaration is exception to the aforesaid principle of hearsay, and reliance may be placed in case of Narayan Singh versus State of Haryana AIR 2004 Supreme Court. The multiple dying declaration. Whenever there are multiple dying declaration, all those dying declaration shall be admissible in evidence if they are similar with each other, corroborating the facts and away from the embellishment, false, manipulated, concocted and artificial story. The aforesaid observation has been overwhelmed and emphasized in case of Paniben versus State of Gujarat in 1992, as well as in case of Makhan Singh versus State of Haryana recently in 2022, that if the plurality of dying declaration could be held to be truthworthy and reliable, they have to be accepted. Evidentiary value of dying declaration. We may take a glance on the judgment of Privy Council along with the judgment of Supreme Court to check the evidentiary value of dying declaration, that up to what extent it's relevant admissible. And in case of Pakla Narayan Swamy versus Emperor in 1939 and in case of Kaushal Rao versus State of Bombay AIR 1958 Supreme Court, it was held firstly that the court should be satisfied that the deceased was in a fit state of mind at the time of making the statement, and it was not the result of tutoring, promoting or imagination. Secondly, that such case must be determined on its own facts, keeping in view the circumstances in which the dying declaration was made, and the circumstances are myriad and vary from the case to case. Thirdly, after veracity test, the statement may be relied upon by the Court of Justice sparingly, and if the court is satisfied that declaration is full, true, voluntary account of statement, then it can be sole basis of conviction without any further corroboration. Be that as it may be, the court, after examining the dying declaration in all aspects and testing its veracity, come into conclusion that it is not reliable by itself and it suffers from infirmity. Then prosecution is in need to produce cogent, coherent, and overwhelming evidence to bring home the guilt of accused. Here is the conclusion. Now the compendium gleaned from the aforesaid discussion is that dying declaration is a weak type of evidence owing to recorded without oath, and same has to be made in the absence of accused who had no opportunity of testing the veracity of cross-examination. Also, in case of Hardeep Singh versus State of Punjab in 2014, Apex Court held that the mandate under Article 20 and 21 of the Constitution of India 1950 provides a protective umbrella for the smooth administration of justice, making adequate provision to ensure a fair and efficacious trial, so that the accused does not get prejudiced after the law has been put into motion to try him for the offence, but at the same time also gives the equal protection to the victim and to the society at large, to ensure that a guilty man who is in the wolf clothing should not be escaped from the clutches of law. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Do we have any question about dying declaration from Vineet Kumar? Okay, all right. Now, our next participant is Ms. Madhu, and she's going to speak on urbanization trend during 1991-2021 and its consequences on socio-economic profile in Hansi city. So I request Madhu to be there on the stage. She's going to present through offline mode.
So, very good afternoon to my all respected professors and my dear scholars. Myself, Madhu, research scholar of Geography Department from OSGU, and I'm going to present my study titled with Urbanization Trend during 1991 to 2021 and its consequences on socio-economic profile in Hansi city. So my paper is indicating the trend of urbanization and its current impacts. For completing my study, I collect my data from primary and secondary sources both. And during my urbanization is one of the important aspects in development of human society. During this complex cycle, spatial distribution pattern of population is not only changes, but also their business behavior is also changes. My objectives are to show the study urbanization trend of Hansi city from 1991 to 21, to know the constant modification in land use and land cover in urban area, to find out the consequences on urbanization on current socio-economic condition of study area. So first of all, we will see the urbanization trend. So here we can see the Hansi city during 1991, where red polygons are showing the built-up area, and white with black lines are presenting the open space, and green polygons are showing the agricultural land, and pink polygons are revealing the industrial area. So at every decades, we can see that built-up area with red polygons are expanding very fastly during every decades along with the transport networks, and also the pink polygons are also expanding very fastly, but the open space and agricultural lands are decreasing continuously. So this is the trend of urbanization, that a city is expanding very, very fastly, during every decade. So now at second parts of our research paper, we will see the effect of urbanization on socio-economic lifestyle of the residents. So populations, here we can see that population of young age group is higher in study area, and on second stage below 25 is more higher, which shows the possibilities of higher human resource in study area. And urbanization is negatively affect the family structure, where we can see that it's affects it's converted the joint family into nuclear family, where 74% peoples are living in a nuclear family. And their occupational structure is also changed. Most of the peoples are uh, earning with secondary sources than tertiary and quaternary, and very less are connected with primary resource. And with due to high land values and rent values, most of peoples are living in a rented house. And during my primary survey, I observed that buying her own house is the main goal for urban residents. And middle class families are more in study area, but the level of education in study area is quite nice and higher than national average, where 86.6% population is literate. Another one is digitization is also the major part of urbanization, where we can see the most of peoples in study area are enjoying the various platform of online platform, where they are benefited from education, marketing, travel booking, and health facilities. But another fact is that the peoples of study area are not very aware from various government policies, and very less people are benefited from government policies. So it's negatively impact the socio-economic lifestyle of urban residents. And the next one is that price of every commodities and service in urban area are growing very fastly, but the monthly income of residents is not uh, growing with this, which can create the imbalance with their lifestyles. So my conclusion is showing that due to special location of study area, which is Jhansi city on NH9, and it's also well connected with Hisar and Delhi, and it's clear that the rate of urbanization will be more faster in near future. And in this process, built-up area will expand very fastly, and agricultural area will decrease, which can negatively affect the agricultural production in Jhansi Tehsil. So government should have been taken some strict steps to manage this negative impact of urbanization, because most of are concerned with about another negative impacts like environmental and social issues, but none of are worried about decreasing fertile land. And in the second part of paper, conclusions are coming that most of the people do not have any awareness about the government policies. By making them aware, their whole social and economic level can be enhanced. At present, environmental condition is also not good in study area, where air quality index and noise level is always stayed high in city zones. And government and residents of the Hasi should also come together to deal with fallouts, because only governments cannot reduce these negative consequences. And sustainable development projects should also be taken care in study area from now itself, because it does not have so that it does not have to face crisis like large cities. If the study area is managed properly, then population pressure on the nearby main cities like Hisar can be reduced, which is extremely important for a healthy urban life. Government should provide best housing policies to control slums in urban area in Hasi city, and also may have to take strict rule for controlling the crime rates. So most importantly, we can see that environmental degradation, social crimes, and urbanization both are positively correlated. So governments has to bring many rules and policies to balance these fallouts, but their aim is not fulfilled because participation of citizens is also required. Although since school's time education of environment is given, but practically it does not seem to have any benefit. That's why proper awareness of and education should be given to every citizens to make them practically responsible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madhu. Now we have next participant, that is Suman Kumari. She is a research scholar of OSGU and she is going to speak on urbanization and social change. Suman, you are requested to be there on the dais.
Good afternoon, all of you. I am Suman Kumari, Department of Geography, Research Scholar of OSGU. My topic is urbanization and social change. Urbanization refers to population shift from rural to urban areas. The corresponding decrease in the proportion of people living in rural area and the way in which society adapt to this change. It is the predominantly the process by which town and cities and form and become large as more people begin living and working in central areas. Introduction. The 20th century witnessed a rapid shift of the population from rural to urban areas in most of the countries of the world. A merely 13% of the global population lived in urban areas. Merely 13% of the global population lived in urban areas 19, which increased to 29% in 1950 and crossed the 15% marks in 2009. In India, only 3 out of the 10% live in urban areas. India's central government launched economic reform in the country in 1991. The economic reform aimed to losing the control of the government and increase independence or to actively participate in the India's economic development. The result of the 2021 census on urban population growth assumed enormous significance in enhancing our understanding about the magnitude, growth, and interstate variation in the level and tempo of the urbanization in the country. Causes of the urbanization, industrialization, social factor, employment opportunities, modernization, rural-urban transformation, separate of education, effect of urbanization, migration of rural people to urban areas, employment opportunities in urban center, transport and communication facilities, economic education facilities, increase in the standard of living, trend in urbanization. The result showing the average growth rate of the urban population was 32% during in 1951 to 61, which equivalent to 3.79% during 1971-81. The urban growth rate declared to 3.09% during 1981 to 91 and further declined to 2.75 during 91 to 2001. The total addition to urban population was 91 million during 2001 to 2021, the highest ever, and the For the first time, urban population increment was the higher than rural increment, 90.5 million, since a uniform definition was followed since 1961. Urbanization issue and challenge. India is the one of the less urbanized country of the world with only 27.7%. It has led to serious socio-economic problem. The rapid growth of urban population, both natural and through migration, has put heavy pressure on public utilities like housing, sanitization, transport, water, electricity, health, education, and so on. By 2030, more than 50% of the India population is expected to live in urban areas. Urbanization problem, urban sprawl, overcrowding, housing, unemployment, settlements, transport, sewerage problem, disposal, urban pollution. Components of the urban growth, natural increase, rural to urban migration, fertility, net rural urban classification, state level pattern, economically advanced state show higher level of urbanization. All southern states, along with state of the northern and western India, such as Punjab, Haryana, government and Maharashtra, have a higher urbanization level than the national average. UP, Rajasthan, MP, Chhattisgarh, and Jharkhand also continue to have lower urbanization than the national level. Suggestion: India has to push long several urban reform and the policies change that have been intel in the early 1990 in India. Central government used to provide guideline and also promise increased fund through and centrally intel urban development programs.
Thank you so much, Suman. Now it's time for a break, and our participants are requested to proceed for lunch, which has been arranged on the ground floor. And the session will be continued, virtual session will be continued right now. So all the participants, you are requested to proceed towards the ground floor for the lunch. Someone please help them out. Please guide them. Now it's time to continue with the session through virtual mode. And the first contestant, first participant, we have Renu Bala. And she is going to present on चित्रकला का महत्व भारतीय लोक चित्रकलाओं के संदर्भ में.
Yes,
Do we have
ma'am.
it online? Yes. Renu, you
Ma'am.
can start. You can begin with your presentation. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Now start, ma'am.
Yes, you can.
कर बैठो ना। Yes, ma'am.
All the participants are requested to just wind up their presentation within 5 to 6 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
मैं रेणु बाला शोधार्थी ओम स्टर्लिंग ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी हिसार। मेरा आज का रिसर्च पेपर का विषय है चित्रकला का महत्व भारतीय लोक चित्रकला के संदर्भ में। लोक चित्रकला भारत में विभिन्न
सांस्कृतिक कलाओं का समावेश है। कलाओं में विभिन्नताएं पाई गई हैं और किसी भी क्षेत्र स्थान की जातीय व जनजातियों में पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी चली आ रही पारंपरिक कलाओं को लोक चित्रकला कहते हैं। ओडिशा की जैसे पट चित्रकला है, कर्नाटक में मैसूर चित्रकला है, बिहार में मधुबनी आर्ट, आंध्र प्रदेश की कलमकारी, तंजौर कला, बंगाल की कालीघाट, हिमाचल की हांडी कला, बंगाल की कालीघाट, हिमाचल वर्ली आदि अनेक चित्रकलाएं लोक चित्रकलाओं के रूप में प्रसिद्ध हैं। अनेक विभिन्न लोक कलाएं हम जिनका मुख्य उद्देश्य मैं इसके सामने प्रस्तुत कर रही हूँ। हमारे देश की लोक चित्रकला को बढ़ावा देना, बच्चों के बौद्धिक व्यक्तित्व का विकास करना, मानसिक तनाव को समाप्त करने के लिए आर्ट थेरेपी के रूप में इन चित्रकलाओं का प्रयोग करना और नई पीढ़ी को लोक चित्रकला के प्रति आकर्षण पैदा करना। बौद्धिक विकास में सहायक ये चित्रकलाएं लोक चित्रकला जैसे मधुबनी आर्ट, कलमकारी आर्ट, ये जितनी भी लोक चित्रकलाएं हैं ये बच्चों के ध्यान, काल्पनिकता, रचनात्मक संतुलन, भावनात्मक मानसिकता, स्थिरता, उनको खुशी प्रदान करना, आत्मविश्वास, प्रेक्षण, स्वच्छता, सहनशीलता, नई सोच में, नए विचार के लिए नई विद्याएं और तरीकों में और आदि का समावेश और बौद्धिक स्तर पर विद्यार्थियों व बच्चों को रचनात्मक व व्यक्तित्व के निर्माण में सहायता करती हैं। मानसिक तनाव को कम करने के लिए मानसिक तनाव आज का जीवन क्योंकि बहुत ही हम संकुचित हो गए हैं और इतने बिजी हैं कि तनाव से ग्रसित और परेशान रहते हैं और तनाव हमारे जीवन का एक हिस्सा जैसे बन चुका है। तो इस तनाव को कम करने में इस तनाव जैसी इतनी बीमारियां मानसिक तौर पर हमें होने लगी है, इसको कम करने के लिए भी ये चित्रकलाएं बहुत सहयोग देती हैं। WHO की रिपोर्ट के अनुसार हर चौथा किशोर मानसिक तनाव से ग्रसित है और मानसिक तनाव के बढ़ते आंकड़ों के मद्देनजर रखते हुए साइंस ने भी आज ये मान लिया है कि जो चित्रकला थेरेपी है ये बच्चों के मानसिक विकास में भी मदद कर रही है और उनको तनाव से मुक्त कर रही है। निष्कर्ष में हम यही कहेंगे कि भारतीय संस्कृति को जीवित रखने में लोक चित्रकला की अहम भूमिका है तथा नई पीढ़ी के सर्वांगीण विकास और बौद्धिक व्यक्तित्व के निर्माण के लिए लोक चित्रकला का बहुत ज्यादा महत्व है। यह रिसर्च पेपर मुख्यतः जिन समाचार पत्रों, लेखों और वेबसाइटों से तथा जर्नल पेपरों से लिया गया है उसकी सूची सम्मुख प्रस्तुत है। अंत में मैं अपने शब्दों को विराम देते हुए अपने गाइड विभागाध्यक्ष प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर बीना दीक्षित जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी जिन्होंने इस रिसर्च पेपर को करने में मेरी मदद की और मैं OSGU के मेंबर्स को भी धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगी जिन्होंने इस मंच पे आज मुझे अपने इस रिसर्च पेपर को बोलने का मुझे सौभाग्य प्राप्त किया। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Renubala. Now we have another participant, that is Mr. Manjeet Khasa. Manjeet, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You can proceed with your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Just hold on. Good afternoon, all reverend members. Am I audible properly?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all the members of the organizing committee, our VC sir, my guide, Dr. Shailendra sir. Today, without taking much of your time, directly I am coming on the topic. In today's conference, I am going to present my presentation on the topic role of art skills in promoting social and sustainable development. My subject is political science, and this is my registration number. So, abstract of this idea is that what I have prepared for today's presentation in this paper. Today, I am going to discuss the philosophical abstract on this topic. The role, basically, I would like to say, basically, what is the role of art skills? The art skills plays a very crucial role in promoting the social development. The basic idea of my abstract is like art skills can help us in self-expression. We can raise our social issues like inequality, injustice, and discrimination. If we are willing to promote these values amongst the society, so art skills can plays a very crucial role. Art skills can help us in raising awareness, and we are going to sustain our lifestyle by art skills. So this is the abstract and brief idea what I am going to present today. In the introduction, the next part of my presentation, it is the introduction. Here I would like to tell about sorry for that interruption. In the introduction, I would like to focus on that in the ancient time, from the very past time, the art skills had been very integral part of the human society. The artistic skills, it creates a direct kind of impact on the well-being of individual. Without, if we want to means humanity, if we are willing to promote, then art skills plays a very pivotal role, I would like to say, and for the social development also. Like for the social development, the society cannot sustain without the social development, and in social development, the self-expression through the art skills. Self-expression means the inequality, injustice, and discrimination, as I have quoted earlier in my abstract. Social development we are going to promote through the art skills. In the environmental degradation, if we want to stop, this is the major need. It is not about my subject and my presentation, but environmental degradation, this is related to every subject. And we should promote the conservation efforts. If we are going to conserve this complete ecosystem, then art skills are going to promote a very important role. Next, like social development, if art skills plays a very crucial role in promoting social development by providing a platform for self-expression and promoting cultural awareness. It can also be used to address social issues such as inequality, injustice, and discrimination. For instance, the use of art to create awareness about environmental degradation and to promote conservation effort is becoming increasingly popular. Additionally, art skills can be used to promote cultural exchange and sustainable development. If we are going to conserve, we are going to preserve our society, then we will have to work. We will have to go with the sustainable development. We are to preserve our this complete ecosystem, and if we are going to sustain it, then artistic skills, their importance is more. So the sustainable development is a crucial issue facing the world today, and the art skills can play a significant role in promoting it. Art skills can be used to raise awareness about the need of sustainability and to encourage individuals to adopt more sustainable lifestyles. For example, the use of art in environmental education programs can help to instill a sense of responsibility towards the environment and the young people. Additionally, the use of art skill in sustainable tourism can help to promote sustainable development by encouraging tourists to adopt sustainable practices while traveling. This is the need of the art, and means as a human being, wherever, if we are going with the family or wherever we are going, so we are to inculcate these values among the children also, to our friends also, to sustain the development. In tourism, this can help us a lot. The impact of art on sustainable development is significant and far-reaching. Art has the power to raise awareness about the importance of sustainability and to encourage individuals to adopt more sustainable lifestyles. In this way, art can play a crucial role in promoting sustainable development. Art skills have long been recognized as a valuable asset in many different fields. From fine arts to the graphic designs, art skills have shown to have a positive impact on employment, prospectus, and career success. The purpose of this research paper is to explore the relationship between art skills and the employment, and to examine the ways in which art skills can contribute to employment and the career development. There are some major parts of this environmental awareness. Number one, environmental awareness. As I have told you earlier, I have quoted one example of this tourism. So environmental awareness, we can do it if we have art skills. Art can be used to raise awareness and environmental issues. The next is the enhancing employability. To increase this is the major factor, raising unemployment issue. If we are willing to enhance the employability, then art skills can enhance the individual's employability by providing them with the unique skill that sets them apart of others. Employers, often individuals with a strong background in the art, and that tend to have strong problem solving skills, creativity, and attention to detail. Improving job satisfaction, as I think it is very much clear in the enhancing employability. This is correlated with it only. Ma'am, should I explain each and every point, or I can make brief of it?
Then please try to make it brief.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So enhancing cognitive skills. In cognitive skills also, the development of skills has also shown to have a positive impact on the cognitive skills such as problem solving, critical thinking, etc. Then sustainable tourism, in the abstract also, in the introduction also, I quoted it. Education and increasing actions. Increasing actions means art can inspire action and encourage individual to take steps towards more sustainable future through its ability to evoke emotions and engage individuals on a personal level. Then methodology, the role of art skill in promoting social and sustainable development can be studied through a mixed methods approach, which combines both qualitative and quantitative research method. Now question arises how we can use art skills in quantitative and qualitative research. In the qualitative research, we can use two examples, two ways we can do it. In depth interviews, we can recognize what kind of artistic skills are there amongst the candidate. Then case studies we can take. You can also conduct a case studies of communities or the organization that have successfully utilized art skills to promote social and the sustainable development. In the
You are requested to
quantitative research, we can take two ways in surveys and in a statistical analysis. You can use a statistical analysis to analyze the survey data and identify trends and the patterns in the use of art skills for promoting sustainable development. Along with this, in the art skills, in data analysis, this is the explanation like thematic analysis and descriptive statistics. With the examples, we can make it more concrete.
I'm sorry, sir. We are
Next, in the art skills have long recognized been as a valuable asset in many different fields, from the arts to the graphic designs. Already it was added in the very starting.
Please try
Then
to wind up.
art skills can be used in the career opportunities, enhancing employability, improving job satisfaction.
So you are requested to please wind up. We are falling short of time.
Ma'am?
We are falling short of time. Please, you are requested to wind up.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Then I'm coming to the conclusion. In the conclusion part, the conclusion, art skills play a vital role in promoting social and sustainable development. The development of art skills has a potential and to transform lives of the individual, communities, and the society as a whole. This is the brief of the conclusion, and the references that I have taken. I have given here the references. This is the list of the references that I have used to prepare this presentation. Thank you very much, ma'am, for providing me this opportunity, and my sincere thanks to the whole organizing committee for providing me this opportunity to share my ideas on this particular topic. Thank you, ma'am. Any suggestion, ma'am?
Thank you so much. It was such a wonderful presentation. Participants are requested to please take care of time limit, and you are requested to wind up your presentation in just 5 to 6 minutes. Thank you so much. Now we have next participant, that is Vidhu Kambra. Vidhu, are you
Yes,
present?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Okay, you can start your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible. No, your slides are not visible, but you are audible.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry.
Vidhu, is it taking time?
No, ma'am.
No, you can prepare your presentation. Just take your time, and we will start with the other participant. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now, next participant we have is Pooja Devi, Miss Pooja Devi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and she is going to present on role of family structure and cognitive emotion regulation strategies. Okay, Pooja, you are requested to start your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Screen share.
You have a certain time limit. Please try to wind up your presentation within 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, Pooja?
Yes, ma'am. But screen share. I'm not able to screen share, ma'am.
Okay, 1 minute.
Ma'am, I'm not able to share screen. What should I do?
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, you can present your paper without the slides, okay? You just start with your presentation.
Good morning, good afternoon to everyone. I am Pooja, research scholar from psychology. I am here to present my topic, role of family structure and cognitive emotion regulation strategies on happiness and mental health of adolescents. Mental and emotional disorders are not uniformly distributed throughout social systems but are more closely concentrated in some social levels than others. Mental health problems affect 10 to 20% of children and adolescents worldwide, despite their relevance as a leading cause of health related disability in this age group and their long lasting effects throughout life. Multiple factors affect mental health. The more risk factors adolescents exposed to, the greater the potential impact on their mental health. Factors that can contribute to stress during adolescence include exposure to adversity, second, pressure to conform with peers, third, exploration of identity. Mental health disorders in adolescence are pervasive, often carry into adulthood, and appear to be inversely associated with social status. Emotion regulation. The term emotion regulation refers to the exchanging and entering process responsible for monitoring, evaluating, and modifying emotional reactions, especially their intensive and temporal features, to accomplish one's goal. By understanding the impact of family structure and emotion regulation strategies on adolescent well-being, practitioners can develop effective interventions that support the mental health and happiness of this population. Additionally, parents and other adults who work with adolescents can play an important role in fostering supportive family environments and teaching effective emotion regulation strategies, helping to promote positive outcomes for adolescents. Process. This is a process that can be activated at any phase of emotional responding through strategies that involve conscious or unconscious process. Emotion regulation can be thought of as the exchanging and entrenching process responsible for monitoring, evaluating, and modifying emotional reactions, especially their intensive research on emotion regulation is conducted across a wide range of academic specializations, including neuroscience, developmental, personality, social, and clinical psychology, as well as in health related literatures involving biological, psychological, cultural, and psychosocial changes. Adolescence is a crucial stage in the process of an individual growth and the establishment of his or her own autonomy. However, experienced emotions are not always effective or adaptive in every situation. For instance, they could convince us to choose a course of action that is socially unacceptable or dangerous, or they might cause us to break an essential interpersonal tie. In situations like these, being able to control one's emotions and react correctly to the demands of one's surrounding is essential. Objective. The main objective of the paper is to review the existing literature to study role of family structure and cognitive emotion regulation strategies on happiness and mental health of adolescents. Methodology. In the proposed study, the focus is on the potential for developing practical and theoretical contribution, utilizing the review of literature as a process that is advanced by explaining what is meant by review of literatures, how it is utilized in research methods, and what is the criterion that must be utilized to assess its nature of quality, etc. This study will contribute various contributions. First, the study distinguishes various methods of literature review approaches, that is, systematic approach, semi-systematic approach, and interrogative approach. Now, review of literature. Virgility et al. 2016 studied emotion regulation strategies and psychological
Am I audible? Sorry to
well-being in
interrupt,
adolescents discovered
but we
this, and in order to investigate whether and how emotions regulation strategies are associated with the well-being of adolescents, 633 Italian adolescents participated in a survey that measured, utilizing the emotion regulation questionnaire, the strategies of cognitive reappraisal and expressive suppression, as well as their relationship with several well-being measures. Studied role of cognitive emotion regulation strategies in emotional distress of adolescents whose father are employed abroad. Discovered this, and cognitive emotion regulation refers to
can you
the
hear me?
mental process that are involved. Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me? I told you
Yes,
earlier
ma'am.
that we have a certain time limit. Okay, we have just 5 to 6 minutes to present your paper. Please try to wind up. Okay, we are sorry for that. We are falling short of time. Okay, thank you. Okay, next participant we have Shivika Jain, and she's going to present on artistic expression in the brain, examining the impact of fine arts on cognitive development in adolescence. A literature review. Shivika, can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can start your presentation and you have a certain time limit. Please try to wind up within 5 to 6 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Shivika Jain, pursuing PhD in psychology from OM Global University, Hisar, is going to present my review paper on artistic expression in the brain, examining the impact of fine arts on cognitive development in adolescence. So, the study of mental development and the role of fine arts in cognitive development has been a topic of interest for many years. There are different types of fine arts like visual arts, music, theater, and dance that play a significant role in personal growth and social emotional growth of any individual. This paper will examine current research on the relationship between cognitive development and artistic expressions and discuss the implication for education and personal development. So, there is a line said by Aristotle that no great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Art changes persons' outlook and the way they experience the world. There is a high correlation between creativity and mental illness. Most powerful minds, those who took a different path, were labeled insane and mad at some of the point. Sometimes madness can change the world. So, there is an increasing amount of scientific evidence that proves art enhances brain functions. This review aims to summarize and synthesize the current literature on the relationship between artistic involvement and mental development with a focus on cognitive, social, emotional, and personal growth. So, first one is cognitive development. Several studies have investigated that the relationship between fine arts and cognitive development, finding participation in music education being associated with improved spatial temporal skills, which are important for mathematical and scientific thinking. The study suggested that the relationship between music instruction and spatial temporal reasoning may be due to the fact that both music and spatial temporal reasoning involve similar cognitive processes such as pattern recognition and mental manipulation of spatial information. Similarly, there is also a study that aimed to examine the relationship between involvement in music and theater arts and academic achievement in a sample of elementary and secondary schools, finding that students who participated in music education had higher scores compared to non-music students. So, in addition to cognitive benefits, research has also suggested that fine arts can have positive effects on social emotional development, finding participation in music education was associated with improved self-esteem and social skills in students. A study conducted on students from primary, secondary, and tertiary education gave the results that indicated a positive relationship between music participation and self esteem. Specifically, the meta analysis revealed that music participation was associated with an overall increase in self esteem among students. It was also discovered that pupils who were actively involved in music production had superior social skills than those who were only passively involved. Next one is personal growth. Finally, engagement with fine arts has been linked to personal growth and development. Findings participation in theater education was associated with increased confidence and self awareness in adolescents. These findings are supported by other researchers also, which has found that participation in fine arts can lead to increased self esteem and personal expressions. Next, the socio-economic status and the fine arts education. A study by Hetland and Winner titled Learning to Make Music Enhances Spatial Temporal Reasoning aimed to investigate that the relationship between socio-economic status and the access to fine art education. The study found that students from lower SES background had less access to such education and were less likely to participate in artistic expressions compared to students from higher SES background, suggesting that students from lower SES background may be missing out on its potential cognitive and personal benefits. The study also found that students from lower SES background who participated in the fine arts program had lower level of spatial temporal reasoning skills compared to students from higher SES background who participated in the same program. So, there are a number of studies have reported that participation in art activities can have a positive impact on cognitive development in children, and some of the studies are here. So, the literature reviewed in this paper infers a strong correlation between artistic expressions and cognitive development. Studies have shown that engaging in various forms of artistic activities can have a positive impact on children's cognitive development, including improvement in areas such as language, spatial reasoning, and problem solving skills. However, it is important to note that more research is needed to fully understand the relationship between artistic expression and cognitive development. It is important to note studies reviewed in this paper primarily focused on Western societies, and it would be valuable to conduct research in a more diverse range of cultures to gain a more comprehensive understanding of this relationship. In conclusion, by fostering creativity and encouraging artistic engagement, we can help children and adults to develop their cognitive abilities and assist humanity reaching its full potential. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm Vidhu Khamra, PhD scholar from Department of Fine Arts, going to present my research paper. And the title of my research paper is Prevalent Designs Used in Print Media. Print design, a subset of graphic design, is a form of visual communication used to convey information to an audience through intentional aesthetic design printed on a tangible surface designed to be printed on paper as opposed to present on a digital platform. A design can be considered print design if its final form was created through an imprint made by the impact of a stamp, seal, or die on the surface of the paper. There are several methods used to create print design artworks spanning more than 500 years. Printing technologies available throughout history heavily influenced the style of designs created by graphic designers at the time of production, as different methods of creating print design offer varying features. Before the emergence of the design and printing technologies of the 20th and 21st century, such as the inkjet printer, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and Adobe InDesign, print design relied on mechanical technologies such as the letterpress and lithography. Keeping this in mind, the research topic was planned to investigate the prevalent design used in print media. Objective of my research paper is existing trend of design suitable for print media. The 30 designs of each category suitable for print media were collected from magazines, books, and websites, etc. The 5 highest preferred designs of each category were screened by experts, and these selected designs were used to reach the concrete and desirable results. Results are here. Collected designs of geometrical, graphic, ancient, and contemporary are present in the table given below. Selection of designs. The section presents preferences of experts for collected designs for design development. The collected designs got assessed by a panel of 30 experts, and results obtained are present from table 1 and 2. This is the table. Geometrical and graphic designs. The data pertaining to preferences of experts presented in Table 1 reveal that in geometrical designs category, design number 18 ranked 1 scored highest weighted mean score, followed by design 27 ranked 2, design number 28 ranked 3, and design number 29 ranked 4, and design number 14 ranked 5. The preferences of experts for rest of the geometrical and graphic design in descending order are here. Design number 2 was the least preferred geometrical design, ranked 29 with weighted mean score 1.10. Design numbers for graphic designs are here. Design number 10 and 28 were the least preferred graphic design, ranked 29 with weighted mean score 1.10. It is thus inferred that 5 top preferred geometrical design 18, 27, 28, 29, 14 and graphic designs selected for the further development of designs were design number 15, 16, 23, 18 and 19. Ancient and contemporary designs. The data presented in table 2 depict that as per the preferences of the expert, design number 21 scored highest weighted mean score, that is 2.90, ranked 1 in ancient design category, followed by design number 16 ranked 2, design number 23 ranked 3, design number 18 ranked 4 and design number 10 ranked 5, followed by these contemporary design category under 29. Number 29 scored highest weighted mean, that is 2.83, ranked 1, design 2 ranked 2, design 15 ranked 3 and design number 13 ranked 4, design number 30 ranked 5. The other designs with preferred declining order are as. These least preferred design in ancient design category were design number 5 and 7 with weighted mean score 1.03 and ranked 18. Followed by contemporary design, the order of declining design are as. The least preferred design in contemporary designs were 16 and 9 with weighted mean score 1.10 and ranked 19. Hence, it is concluded that design numbers 21, 16, 23, 18 and 10 were top preferred in ancient designs and design number 29, 2, 25, 13 and 30 were top preferred contemporary design selected for the development of designs for print media. It is concluded that designs used by the consumers will be the basis for further development of designs in the area of print media. These designs will be boon to the intellectual thinking and development in this area. This is the bibliography from where I have collected the data. Thank you. This is all from my side.
The next participation we have Jyoti Yadav. Jyoti, I am audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Please start your presentation on enhancing quality of life through yoga.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jyoti, pursuing my PhD in sociology from Punjab University, Chandigarh. Today, my topic is enhancing quality of life through yoga. Yoga is a practice that has been around for thousands of years and has gained popularity as a form of exercise and mindfulness practice. In recent years, there has been growing scientific evidence that yoga can improve the quality of life by reducing symptoms of stress and anxiety, improving physical health and fitness, and promoting overall well-being. This paper will review the available research on the impact of yoga on physical and mental health and provide an overview of the current state of knowledge on the benefit of yoga. By synthesizing the latest evidence, this paper will demonstrate the potential of yoga as a contemporary and integrative therapy for enhancing the quality of life. Introduction. Yoga is a Sanskrit term that means yoke or union. To yoke means to draw together, bind together. Its purpose is to unite or yoke the body, mind, soul, and universal consciousness. Yoga practitioners achieve deep state of freedom, peace, and self-realization by uniting. Sir, my presentation has gone. Slides has gone. Sir, you are not audible to me.
क्यों नहीं बनते, डायरेक्ट रूप से राजनीति में भाग क्यों नहीं लेते। तो स्वामी जी कहते हैं अगर मैं डायरेक्ट रूप से पॉलिटिशियन में अगर राजनीति में भाग लूंगा तो जो क्रूर शासन है वो मुझे भी गिरफ्तार करके जेल में डाल देगा। इसलिए मेरी प्रेरणाएं, जो मेरी बातें हैं, देश को आज़ाद कराने में जो शामिल रहेंगी वह महत्वपूर्ण है। अपनी प्रखर प्रतिभा से देश में स्वतंत्रता प्रेरक किया उन्होंने ज्योति जगा दी। राष्ट्रीय गौरव के प्रेरक व उनकी चेतना ने सभी में जागृति ला दी। पश्चिम में भारतीय संस्कृति की धाक स्वामी विवेकानंद ने जमा दी। जब शिकागो एड्रेस हुआ, शिकागो में धर्म सम्मेलन हुआ, तो स्वामी विवेकानंद सिस्टर्स एंड ब्रदर्स ऑफ अमेरिका, उन्होंने पहला जो वर्ड था वो सिस्टर्स से शुरू किया, न कि ब्रदर्स से। सिस्टर्स एंड ब्रदर्स ऑफ अमेरिका। और अगले 7 मिनट तक लगातार तालियां उस भवन में गूंजती रही। नारीवाद का जो सामान्यतः हिंदी हम इंग्लिश में देखेंगे तो फेमिनिज्म शब्द से हम उसको देखते हैं। फेमिनिज्म एक शब्द है जो कोटेड है, जिस प्रकार से आजकल माइथोलॉजिकल रामायण, माइथोलॉजिकल महाभारत या माइथोलॉजिकल अन्य अन्य चीजें जो चली हुई हैं, उसी प्रकार से जो फेमिनिज्म जो वर्ड है उसका पूर्णतः रूप नारीवाद नहीं है। फेमिनिज्म का फेमिनिज्म शब्द के मूल में कहीं ना कहीं पुरुषों का विरोध हमें देखने को मिलता है, न कि महिला और पुरुषों में समानता का भाव अपने को इसमें देखने को मिलता है। नेक्स्ट। विवेकानंद ने कभी भी स्त्री व पुरुष के बीच में प्रतिस्पर्धा को नहीं बताया है। उन्होंने दोनों की समानता, जिस प्रकार से भारतीय संस्कृति में हम देखेंगे कि एक सिंगल व्यक्ति अपने सांस्कृतिक जो हवन वगैरह होते हैं उनमें भी नहीं बैठ सकता है, तो अकेला पुरुष या अकेली महिला कभी भी एक दूसरे से प्रतिस्पर्धा नहीं कर सकते हैं। दोनों का जो स्थान है वो एक समान है, दोनों की जो इंपॉर्टेंस है अपने समाज में वो एक समान है। नेक्स्ट। पाश्चात्य राजनीति में हम देखेंगे प्लेटो ने संरक्षक वर्ग के अंतर्गत पुरुष की समानता स्वीकार की थी, परंतु अरस्तु ने पुरुष की तुलना जो महिला व दास है उनको हीन भावना से उन्होंने अपनी बुक्स में या उनके विचारों में हमें देखने को मिलता है। 1963 में एक पुस्तक आई जिसका नाम था द फेमिनिन मिस्टिक, जिसके राइटर है बेटी फ्राइडन। बेटी फ्राइडन जब 19 का जो दशक था, 90 का जो दशक था, उसमें महिलाएं अपने अधिकारों को लेकर के हड़तालें, भूख हड़तालें या अन्य प्रकार के जो आयोजन थी वो विदेशों में अपने अपने लेवल पे कर रही थी। उसी समय यह पुस्तक हमारे सामने आती है और इस पुस्तक को पढ़ करके बहुत सारे महिलाओं ने अपना घर छोड़ दिया, अपने भाई बंधु को छोड़ दिया। उससे कुछ साल बाद जब बेटी फ्राइडन फिर से पश्चिम की यात्रा करते हैं और वो देखते हैं कि जिस परिवार के कारण उन महिलाओं को सुरक्षा मिली हुई थी, जिस समाज के कारण उन महिलाओं को आदर मिला हुआ था, जिस समाज के कारण, जिस परिवार के कारण उन महिलाओं को सम्मान मिला हुआ था, उसी समाज को उन महिलाओं ने त्याग दिया। और उनको महिलाएं भी उनके पास आती हैं और कहती हैं कि ऐसी जो कुदृष्टि के जो व्यक्ति हैं समाज में, जो अन्य प्रकार के व्यक्ति हैं, हमें इस प्रकार से परेशान करते हैं। आने वाले समय में उसके 10 साल बाद एक दूसरी पुस्तक आती है बेटी फ्रेडन की, जस्ट सेकंड स्टेज, और वो उस पुस्तक में बताते हैं कि जो पहली पुस्तक में मैंने गलती की थी, उस पुस्तक की गलती को मैं इस पुस्तक में सुधारना चाहता हूं। अगर हम अमेरिका में देखें तो महिलाओं को मतदान का अधिकार 1920 में मिलता है। यूके, जहां पूरे देश की महारानी ही स्वयं महिला है, वहां पे वोट का अधिकार उनको 1928 में मिलता है। और विश्व के सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र जिसको हम मानते हैं स्विट्जरलैंड, वहां पे 1971 में वोट का अधिकार मिलता है। लेकिन जब अपना संविधान बनता है 47 से 50 तक जब अपना संविधान बनता है, तो ये प्रश्न ही नहीं आता कि महिलाओं को समानता का अधिकार या वोट का अधिकार देना है या नहीं देना है। क्यों? क्योंकि अपने मूल संविधान में, अपनी भावनाओं में, अपनी संस्कृति में महिलाओं को हमने बराबर रूप से माना है, और इस प्रकार के क्वेश्चन हमारे सामने कभी भी नहीं आते हैं। भारत में मतदान का अधिकार सामान्यतः जिस प्रकार से पुरुषों को मिला, उसी प्रकार से महिलाओं को मिला। इस प्रकार की सदन में कोई भी चर्चा नहीं कि महिलाओं को किस लेवल पे समझाना चाहिए, क्यों? वो पुरुष के समान है, और महिला और पुरुष दोनों एक समान है। यही स्वामी विवेकानंद के विचार हैं, और उन्हीं विचारों को हम देखते हैं तो अपना संविधान भी कहीं ना कहीं उसकी नींव विवेकानंद के विचार हैं। भारतीय इतिहास में महिलाओं को विशेष स्थान मिला है। चाहे हम माता सीता का उदाहरण देखें, दमयंती, द्रौपदी, किसी भी माता का उदाहरण देखें जिनके पास अच्छी नॉलेज है, या किसी भी महिला का हम उदाहरण देखें, तो उसमें महिलाओं का स्थान सर्वोपरि रहा है। स्वामी विवेकानंद की भावनाओं से प्रेरित होकर आयरलैंड से महिला आई, जिसको ये बाद में इन बहन जी ने भारत में स्वतंत्रता का कार्य किया। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Dheeraj, for such a wonderful presentation. Now we have another participant, that is Nisha Kiran, and she will be presenting through virtual mode. Nisha, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible to you, Nisha?
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Nisha.
आवाज आ रही है?
Can you hear me, Nisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can start with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. मैं निशा किरण, शोधार्थी, ललित कला विभाग, ओम स्टर्लिंग ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी, हिसार। मेरा रिसर्च पेपर का विषय है कला और संस्कृति का संगम, सूरजकुंड मेला। भारत में कई संस्कृतियां और धार्मिक मेले का आयोजन किया जाता है, उनमें से एक सूरजकुंड मेला एक विशेष है। ये मेला हस्तकला का मेला है, जिसमें शिल्पियों का मेला भी कहा जाता है। इस मेले को भारत में लगाने का भारत में लगाना इसलिए जरूरी माना गया था क्योंकि मशीनों के कारण हाथों का काम बंद होता जा रहा था और वो बेरोजगार हो रहे थे शिल्पी, इसलिए इस मेले का लगना जरूरी था। ये मेला सूरजकुंड में लगाया जाता है। सूरजकुंड मेले का आयोजन 10वीं सदी से शुरू हुआ था। सूरजकुंड सूर्य की झील हरियाणा में फरीदाबाद जिले में लगाया जाता है। यह अरावली की पहाड़ियों में है। सूरजकुंड का निर्माण तोमर वंश के राजा सूरजपाल ने करवाया था। यह हरियाणा राज्य के पर्यटकों द्वारा करवाया जाता है। 2013 से अंतर्राष्ट्रीय का दर्जा इस मेले को दिया गया है। इस मेले में कपड़ा, सांस्कृतिक, विदेशी मंत्रालयों, हरियाणा सरकार के सहयोग से सूरजकुंड का मेला प्राधिकरण तथा हरियाणा पर्यटन द्वारा संयुक्त रूप में आयोजित यह उत्सव सौंदर्य बोध की दृष्टि से लगाया जाता है। भारत में शिल्प, संस्कृति और व्यंजनों की भी प्रदर्शित किया जाता है। इस मेले में खाने का और नाचने गाने के सभी उत्सव होते हैं। यह मेला 23 वर्षों से 23 देश, इस मेले में 2015 में 20 देशों ने भाग लिया था। इस वर्ष इस मेले में देशों को भाग लेना था, जिसमें से चीन, श्रीलंका, जापान आदि हैं। 1987 में कुशल कारीगरों के पुल को बढ़ावा देने के लिए शुरू किया गया था, जो स्वदेशी तकनीक का इस्तेमाल करके, लेकिन ये लोग सस्ते मशीनी निर्मित उत्पादों के कारण पीड़ित थे। इस मेले में 2013 से अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर इस मेले का अपडेट हो गया था कि ये मेला अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मेला हो चुका है। सूरजकुंड मेला हस्तशिल्पियों, हथकरघा संस्कृति की विरासत है। 2020 में 39,000 नौकरियां इस मेले से मिली थी। 8% नौकरियां लगभग थी। 2028 तक ये नौकरियां 52 मिलियन तक बढ़ने की उम्मीद है। सांस्कृतिक पर्यटन एक समाज को अपनी संस्कृति और विरासत से बचाने में मदद करता है, छवि बनाता है और पहचान को मजबूत करता है। मेले और त्योहार सांस्कृतिक पर्यटन का अभिन्न अंग है। भारत में लोग इन आयोजनों का पूरा मजा लेते हैं, रंग, हर्षोल्लास और रीति रिवाजों के साथ मनाते हैं। इस मेले को लगाने का उद्देश्य यही रहा है कि बेरोजगारी को खत्म किया जाए और हस्तकला को उभारा जाए। इस मेले में कपड़ा, चीनी मिट्टी के बर्तन, टेराकोटा आदि मिलता है। भारत की शिल्प कला को विदेशों तक पहुंचाना है। मेले में मोहक संस्कृति, प्राचीन शिल्पों और परंपराओं का विरासत की झलक मिलती है, जो अपनी क्षमता से इतिहास बनाती है। इस मेले में हर वर्ष किसी एक राज्य को थीम बनाया जाता है और 2020 में राजस्थान थीम राज्य बना था, जो कि दूसरी बार उसको ये गौरव प्राप्त हुआ था। मेले में स्टॉल भी लगाए जाते हैं और थीम स्टेट के साथ साथ थीम ऑफ कंट्री भी बनाया जाता है। ये मेरी लिस्ट है जिसमें अब तक के जितने भी वो बने हैं थीम स्टेट। और सूरजकुंड का इतिहास 2020 में सूरजकुंड का 1 फरवरी से ये मेला में रामनाथ कोविंद जी द्वारा किया गया था।
Nisha, I'm very sorry to interrupt. Please try to conclude your presentation. You're falling short of time.
ओके मैम। उद्देश्य यही है मेरे इसका। निष्कर्ष बताती हूँ मैं। सूरजकुंड मेले से ये शिल्पियों की रोजी रोटी का है, एक अच्छा स्थान है। इसी मेले से ही देश विदेशों में शिल्पियों की पहचान बनती है और उनका निर्माण और निर्माताओं का व्यवसाय बढ़ता है, जिससे वो शिल्प अपने रोजगार को आगे तक बढ़ाते हैं। सूरजकुंड अंतर्राष्ट्रीय शिल्प मेला है, जो कि एक देश का न होकर विदेशों का भी है। अंत में मैं अपने रिसर्च पेपर को समाप्त करती हूँ और अपनी गाइड डॉक्टर बीना दीक्षित और विभागाध्यक्ष को धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगी, जिन्होंने रिसर्च पेपर लिखने में मेरी पूर्ण सहायता की। OSGU के मेंबर्स को भी धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगी, जिन्होंने मुझे इस मंच पर मुझे अपने रिसर्च पेपर को प्रस्तुत करने का मौका दिया। थैंक यू।
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Nisha. Now we are going to have our next participant, that is Sumita. And she
Yes,
will be
ma'am.
presenting virtual mode. Sumita, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. You can begin with your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. So, good afternoon to all of you. This is Sumita, PhD scholar from OSGU. My research topic is on Modi's China policy to resolve the border dispute. As you all know, India and China are facing a very tough border dispute. So, in 2014, when India was busy in the welcome of Xi Jinping, the president of China, at the same time, Chinese troops were staring at Indian counterparts, and a new Chinese incursion was reported in the region of Ladakh. Again, in 2019, when Xi and Modi had a very good meeting in Mamalpuram in southern India. Both were focusing on the cultural similarities of both countries, as both the nations are old civilizations and shares cultural relations like Buddhism. Just after the 8 months of this meeting, Chinese troops entered in Galwan Valley and killed 20 Indian soldiers with nail-studded clubs. Narendra Modi, who represents as strong leadership of India, even before being the Prime Minister, he has been very tough on China. Due to one of his election rally, he targeted China and said that no power on earth can take away even an inch from India. So this research paper will focus on how the India-China's border dispute during the Narendra Modi era. It will show whether the clashes with China are decreasing or not, and what initiatives have been taken by Narendra Modi government to solve the issue. The paper will explain the Sino-Indian border dispute, scenario of the dispute in Modi government, and the policies of Indian government to sort out the problem and the conclusion. So India and China, the two Asian giants and the neighbor states, they share the borderland of 22,000 miles, and they share disputes also. I will focus on Sino-India border dispute. So India and China have disputes over their territory near borderland. The dispute mainly occurs in the area of Aksai Chin, Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh. India takes Aksai Chin as a part of Ladakh, whereas China claims it as his own territory. Time to time, China has shown Arunachal Pradesh in his map. India considers Johnson Line as the line of demarcation which shows Aksai Chin as a part of Indian territory, whereas China proposed line as the demarcation line which consider Aksai Chin as the part of China. The line of actual control is the demarcation line between both states that separates Indian controlled territory from Chinese controlled. In 1962, India-China had a war. China invaded in the area of Ladakh and near McMahon Line in the east. In 1967, there was a clash near the Sikkim area. In the same way, in 1975 and 2013, time to time, we have clashes with China. Here is a list of the skirmishes from 2014 to 2022. I will mention the clash of 2020. In the year of 2020, India and China, the military clashed many times from May to December. Most dreadful battle was in the Galwan Valley near eastern Ladakh. It was a violent face-off in which 20 Indian soldiers were killed in a physical fight with stones and batons. Around 38 Chinese troops were drowned in the river during the clash. So now what Modi government has done to this? The initiatives taken by Narendra Modi government are like this. During both the terms of Narendra Modi government, there has been 16 rounds of military talks between both the countries.
Very sorry to interrupt, Sumita. Please
Yes,
try
ma'am.
to.
Yes, ma'am. I am winding up.
Okay.
So I'll come to the conclusion. The China is aggressive at border. India is retaliating in the same way, but these actions do not seem to be fruitful. China is spreading his wings all around the India by his policies like One Belt, One Road, and his road initiative programs in Pakistan, which hits the Indian territory. China's project of commercial shipping center at Hambantota in Sri Lanka and a deep water port in Gwadar in Pakistan is a serious concern for India. The growing tensions with China have become a political problem for Narendra Modi along with the national security. This is because it is also blurring Narendra Modi's image of stronger. However, India always bilaterally economic relations with China. In that case, it's not easy to deal with the situation only by the military forces. So the dispute does not seem to get resolved soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. Now we have our next participant, that is Mr. Anubhav. He's a research scholar from OSGU, and he will be presenting on the topic the pandemic era, life before, during, and after the pandemic. He will be presenting through offline mode. Anubhav, you are requested to be here.
A warm welcome to everyone. So, I extend my warm welcome and heartiest wishes to everyone present here, the dignitaries, the guests present here, and especially the Dean of English Language and Literature, Dr. Sunil Benda sir, and also my fellow colleagues, as I worked here as an assistant professor as well, Dr. Deepika, Dr. Kavita, and all of my well-wishers. So today my topic is the pandemic era, life before and after the pandemic. So as we all know that coronavirus was first seen in Wuhan in 2019 December, and it was taken lightly as a common cold virus, and its only cure, which was known as to impose lockdown, and it affected every sector, be it the people, industries, the education sector, and the agriculture as well. And we learned the lessons of cleanliness, sanitation, and online studies through it. Next. So here are the keywords. So we all know the first attack was in December. The coronavirus was a disease which had spread like a wild raging fire. As it spread, various countries announced lockdown to be imposed so as to minimize the casualties. As per the statistics, only agriculture field showed up with a positive growth rate. All the others were negative, and all the educational institutions were shut down. The children and the adults were forced to stay in their homes. So the advantages and disadvantages. You are almost be thinking that what would be the advantages of such a calamity, such a pandemic? So first of all, the disadvantage was that the people were not able to go out to work and the children not able to go to school. And the advantage on the other side, because the advantages and disadvantages are two faces of same coin. The advantage was that it helped us all to focus on our creative endeavors. We enjoyed our lockdown months initially free from our daily work routines and doing whatever our heart said without worrying about our daily routines. And lockdown situation gave us a chance to reflect, to introspect about the things we take for granted. For example, life, and the purpose of life became clear to us. So, as the pandemic continued to spread, we were turning introverts. There was feeling of alienations, and all the warm hugs vanished, and the people stayed glued to Netflix and social media and became obese. There were panic attacks and depression. Online studies were the new trend. Money was just a mere number. We realized the value of life. Life saving was the only goal. We were fighting the unknown and unseen virus. There was stocking of food items, and we were locked inside our homes. So, finding the cure, lockdown was imposed, everything was shut down. There was financial crunch almost everywhere. ATMs ran out of money, and there were awareness and positive messages flashed on television screens. There was shortage of oxygen cylinders and sharpening of cooking and communication skills in free time as well. So there was a lesson for future generations. The world was divided into two phases, pre-COVID phase and post-COVID phase. Pre-COVID phase was the moments were unrestricted. People were free to go out of town and to meet their friends and relatives. But in the post-COVID phase, there were restrictions everywhere on gatherings. There were no hugs and there was social distancing as well. The psychological trauma and depression in the COVID phase was evident because there was a dance of death and fear and the food was served in room like dogs, COVID patients were treated like criminals by the society, and no one dared to visit a COVID patient's house. Domestic violence and depression increased, and the increased number of road accidents in post-COVID era as well. So, what were the various solutions to tackle coronavirus? First of all, we tried to find out the peak months. There was usage of masks and sanitizers. Then Ayurveda and yoga helped us a lot because it was a respiratory disease and a respiratory pandemic. So these helped us a lot. There was a focus on healthy vegetarian diet, and we all said no to junk foods, citrus foods, and running for at least 20 minutes a day was recommended. And the need was to normalize living with coronavirus because we cannot eliminate. So there was a few lessons learned. There were a few lessons learned that Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest repeated itself. Survival of the fittest in a way that we all said no to obesity. We all moved towards vegetarian diet. Only the fit people survived, whose immunity system was strong, survived. Money was worth nothing. Life matters. There were there was cleanliness as well, and online modes could be detox and changed to offline. And it was made clear that death is certain and nobody is to live forever. We must be happy and treat everyone with love and care because nobody knows the next day what will happen. So, in conclusion, I like to say that coronavirus came as fierce violent storm that destroyed and devoured everything, whatever came in its way. The lesson is learned, but the lives which are gone, the families have no answer to such an untimely deaths of both young and old. And we all were remembered that human life is a bubble, and the dialogue of a Hindi movie, Anand, starring Rajesh Khanna and Amitabh Bachchan, should fit in the situation that जिंदगी की डोर ऊपर वाले के हाथ में है जहां बना कौन कब और कैसे उठेगा कोई नहीं थैंक यू
Thank you so much, Anubhav, for such a wonderful presentation. Now we have another online presentation that is by Sara Beniwal. She is he is a research scholar from OSGU, and she will be presenting on the topic socio-economic aspect of natural resource management. Sara, am I audible to you? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can present your slides and begin with your presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. The topic for my today's presentation is Socioeconomic Aspect of Natural Resource Management. I am Sara Beniwal and I am currently pursuing PhD Geography from Om Sterling Global University, Hisar. So this study provides a picture of global scenario of natural resources present on the earth. There is an immense importance of natural resources for human beings because of the human dependency on the natural resources to fulfill his needs. Natural resources have various socioeconomic impact on people. Issues such as natural resource degradation, resource mismanagement, resource exploitation, etc. have arisen ahead of development and progress of humans. Hence, the current situation demands for sustainable development and suitable actions to be taken for resource conservation and management. This presentation incorporates various issues and aspects related to natural resources. So, introducing you to some of the aspects. The key to progress of any country depends upon its natural resources as well as the human resources. Natural resources are resources that we get from nature and anything that fulfills our need. Life essential resources such as land, water, air, minerals, wildlife, etc. make human life possible on the earth. Renewable and non-renewable natural resources both are being exploited in current times. So the quality of conservation and management practices that have been applied for purpose aren't fulfilling the aim accurately, and hence this results in social, physical, and economical changes in the society. So in present times, there has been increased attention on the renewable resource management. Resource degradation is an issue of concern in various countries, organizations, etc. Various rural development projects hence focus on improving crop conditions, vegetation, and wildlife in vulnerable environments. Enforcement of necessary steps, actions, and prohibitions have taken for this purpose. Government is currently providing aid and technical assistance in forestry, agroforestry, watershed management, soil conservation, erosion control, land rehabilitation, etc., that lead to integrated resource management. Despite of outpouring of efforts, skills, money preservation policies, restoration of potential resources, the progress is slow and is rarely visible. The reason being institutional deficiencies in proper implementation of resource conservation projects. The national and local institutions have capability to mobilize resources, implement and maintain resources. Natural resource management also deals with some economic issues and concerns, as the government sanctions huge amount of funds for various conservation projects in order to improve condition of natural resources. Therefore, the funds should not be misused and should be used for specific purpose only. The second concern is there needs to be a better understanding of incentives, aims, organization, legal frameworks, research, institution teams, etc. And third is the need for the social science research. The desired result of any social science research focus on issues with a set of theoretical guidelines which would lead to development growth and increasing effective project implementation. It consists of a list of do's and don'ts, warning guidelines, etc. Hence, there is a need for a good research to find causes for resource depletion. Hence, I would like to conclude that there are various barriers that exist to manage natural resources over all socioeconomic circumstances that cannot be ignored. Hence, local participation is essential for the success of natural resource conservation, preservation, and management. National support with international commitments can bring huge results in resource management. Resource preservation projects on smaller scale can result in bigger changes. Local and individual participation is most important factor in places where serious natural resource deterioration has occurred due to population pressure, underdevelopment of an area, etc. So the role of intermediaries such as international development assistance agencies, NGOs, etc. have full support for natural resource management. Sponsored case studies, paper studies, conferences, meetings, etc. could bring huge change in preservation and conservation of natural resources. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sara. Now we have another online presentation by Surinder Dalal, and he will be speaking on Samajik Chetna, Vikas or Parivartan. Surinder, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
begin with. Okay.
यस मैम। आदरणीय अतिथिगण, श्रोतागण व कार्यकारी समिति सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं अभी इसमें आपको सामाजिक चेतना, विकास और परिवर्तन इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताएंगे आपको, पेपर प्रेजेंट करेंगे इसके बारे में। स्टार्टिंग में इसके बाद आप परिचय। मानव और समाज परस्पर एक दूसरे के पूरक है। मानव के बिना समाज का अस्तित्व नहीं है। इस प्रकार समाज के भाव में मानव भी एक पंगु के समान है। मानव अपने प्रत्येक क्रियाकलाप जो गतिविधियां हैं समाज पर आश्रित रहता है। जब तक किसी व्यक्ति को समाज व अपेक्षित सहयोग नहीं मिलता तब तक उस व्यक्ति की जीवन रूपी गाड़ी सही पटरी पर दौड़ती रहती है। परंतु जैसे ही किसी व्यक्ति को सामाजिक सहयोग नहीं मिल पाता तो वह जीवन, उसका जो समस्त जीवन ढांचा है भरभराने लगता है। इसलिए प्रत्येक व्यक्ति यह प्रयास करता है कि वह समाज द्वारा स्थापित की गई मान्यताओं, रीति, धारणाओं स्वीकार करे। जब कोई व्यक्ति इन सामाजिक मान्यताओं का उल्लंघन करता है तो समाज ऐसे व्यक्ति को स्वीकार नहीं करता। तो वह समाज की परिभाषा क्या है? तो एक सामाजिक शब्द है जो समाज के साथ जो प्रत्येक संयोग से निर्मित है। सामाजिक या सामाजिकता को जानने तथा समझने से पूर्व समाज को जानना आवश्यक है। विभिन्न विद्वानों ने समाज शब्द को इस प्रकार से मतलब अलग अलग प्रकार से परिभाषित किया है। राइट के अनुसार जो मनुष्यों के समूह को जो समाज नहीं कहा जा सकता, अपितु समूह के अंतर्गत व्यक्तियों के जो संबंधों की व्याख्या का नाम ही समाज है। फिर देवराज पथिक के अनुसार सामाजिक चेतना जो परिभाषित करते हुए कहा है कि युग विश्व के उत्थान, पतन, उत्कर्ष, अपकर्ष, उन्नति, अवनति, आर्थिक, राजनीतिक, सामाजिक, धार्मिक, सांस्कृतिक, राष्ट्रीय, अंतरराष्ट्रीय दृष्टि सृष्टि, परंपराओं, रूढ़ियों, रीति रिवाजों, मान्यताओं, आस्थाओं के प्रति जन सामान्य की रुचि अरुचि को प्रभावित करने की जो सामर्थ्य रखने वाली शक्ति को समग्र रूप से सामाजिक चेतना है। हरिकृष्ण रावत ने भी समाज तथा सामुदायिक को इस प्रकार से परिभाषित किया है। ठीक है, तो अर्थात जब व्यक्ति सम्मान जो अनुभवों में अपने आप को एक भागीदार समझते हैं तब वह स्थिति सामाजिक चेतना को प्रकट करती है। फिर आता है सामाजिकता। समाज के स्वरूप को जानने के जो उपरांत जो सामाजिकता को जानना आवश्यक है। जो सामाजिक संबंधों को समाज के माध्यम से ही पूरा किया जा सकता है। समाज में सभी व्यक्ति एक दूसरे जुड़े रहते हैं। जुड़ाव चाहे सहयोग के माध्यम से हो या फिर विरोध के माध्यम से हो, परंतु सामाजिकता में एक दूसरे का जुड़ाव होना परम आवश्यक है। मानव की समस्त गतिविधियां सामाजिकता के दायरे में संपन्न होती हैं, तो इन समस्त गतिविधियों का एक एकल संच ही सामाजिकता है। विभिन्न विद्वानों ने सामाजिकता या सामाजिकता को इस प्रकार से भी विवेचित किया है। बीबी जोशी के अनुसार, अर्चना जैन के अनुसार, बीबी जोशी कहते हैं कि चेतना भाव सिद्धांतों था मतों जनता की जो सामाजिक भावना, आदतें और रीति रिवाजों का कुल योग है। अर्चना जैन के अनुसार समाज में व्याप्त जितने वैभव समाप्त करने का जो अभियान तथा उसके साथ सामाजिक रूढ़िवादी विकास के कारण उत्पन्न विकृतियां निकारण द्वारा समाज के जनोइन स्वरूप को प्रदान करना एक सामाजिक चेतना का ही महत्वपूर्ण अंग है। उसके बाद आता है चेतना। चेतना शब्द है संस्कृत के चित्त शब्द के साथ ल्यूट प्रत्यय तथा टाप प्रत्यय के संयोग से निर्मित हुआ है। चित्त शब्द की किसी वस्तु के जो प्रत्यक्ष ज्ञान का द्योतक है। अंग्रेजी भाषा में चेतना शब्द के लिए कॉन्शियस शब्द का प्रयोग किया जाता है। यह शब्द लैटिन भाषा के कॉन्शियस शब्द से कॉन्शियस शब्द के संयोग से निर्मित हुआ है। कॉन्शियस शब्द का अर्थ मान जाता है कि जानना, या कॉन्शियस शब्द का अर्थ है कि आंतरिक ज्ञान व आंतरिक जागरूकता। वस्तु किसी भी व्यक्ति या वस्तु के विषय में संपूर्ण रूप से जानना या जानने की इच्छा रखना, या इनके आंतरिक गुणों दोषों से परिचित होने या इनके प्रति आंतरिक जागरूकता रखना ही चेतना है। चेतना शब्द मनोविज्ञान से संबंधित है। मन के धरातल में जितने प्रकार के मानसिक क्रियाकलाप संपन्न होते हैं वे सभी चेतना के विषय हैं। सोचना, विचारना, स्मरणा, विस्मरण, बुद्धि, होश, बेहोशी आदि सभी चेतना से संबंधित विषय हैं। उससे किसी वस्तु की जो आंतरिक तथा भौतिक प्रकृति की संपूर्ण जानकारी ही चेतना का विषय है। फिर आता विकास। विकास की जो सामाजिक, आर्थिक, मानसिक, दार्शनिक, जो राजनीतिक आधार पर विभिन्न परिभाषा हो सकती है। इस संबंध का जो पर्यावरण से भी हो सकता है। इसका संबंध मानव विकास के 4 आधार माने जाते हैं। अपक्षता है, दक्षता है, उत्पादकता, भागीदारी और सशक्तिकरण और स्थिरता। मानव विकास संतत भलाई और सभी लोगों की गरिमा को सुरक्षित रखने को सर्वाधिक प्राथमिकता देता है। किसी देश में विकास का स्तर बताने के लिए लिंग आधारित विकास सूचकांक, लिंग सशक्तिकरण मापन, मानव निर्भरता सूचकांक जैसी विधियां भी उपलब्ध हैं। संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ में वर्णन है कि इसके सबसे आधार पर जीवन प्रत्याशा, शिक्षा और आय ही है। विकास सामाजिक आर्थिक विकास की वह प्रक्रिया है जिसमें पृथ्वी की सहनशक्ति के अनुसार विकास की बात की जाती है। सत्य विकास का लक्ष्य है भूखमरी, गरीबी को समाप्त करना, सार्वजनिक प्राथमिक शिक्षा, लिंग समानता तथा महिला सशक्तिकरण, शिशु मृत्यु दर घटना, मातृत्व स्वास्थ्य को बढ़ावा देना, कोविड, HIV, एड्स, मलेरिया, डेंगू, स्वाइन फ्लू तथा अन्य बीमारियों से छुटकारा पाना। पर्यावरण सतह वैश्विक विकास के लिए संबंध स्थापित करता है। उसके बाद आता है परिवर्तन। जो सामाजिक चेतना का बीज एक साथ चलने और चिंतन करने में है। जहाँ ऐसे मंत्र नहीं है वहाँ कोई आदर्श नहीं है। जहाँ कोई आदर्श नहीं वहाँ जीवन लक्ष्यहीन है। मनुष्य की अभिव्यक्तियों को चलाने की राह भी अनेक है। मनुष्य की अपनी अपनी अभिव्यक्तियां, मनुष्य की अलग अलग विभिन्न व्यक्तियों की संस्कृतियां, मनुष्य की विभिन्न अभिव्यक्तियां ही संस्कृति हैं। एक समूह के व्यक्ति के साथ दूसरे समूह के व्यक्ति की अभिव्यक्ति या तीसरे से भिन्न हो सकती है। जैसे एक समूह के व्यक्ति खाना चम्मच से खाते हैं, दूसरा समूह व्यक्ति अपने हाथों से खाते हैं, किंतु सबकी संस्कृति तो एक ही है। मानव समाज की संस्कृति एक और अविभाज्य है। मानव समाज के बौद्धिक विकास के साथ मनुष्य के व्यक्तियों में भी वृद्धि होती है। मनुष्य एक सामाजिक प्राणी है और वह दूसरों के व्यवहार को प्रभावित करता है और उसके साथ व्यवहार से प्रभावित होता है। जब सामाजिक परिस्थिति इन प्रकार की होती है कि एक बच्चा समाज के तौर तरीके, नियमों,
Very sorry, Surinder.
सामाजिक बनाए जाते हैं। धन्यवाद, धन्यवाद मैम।
Thank you so much.
इतना ही मैम। थैंक यू मैम।
Now we have another online presentation by Kajal Kocha. She's a research scholar of OSGU. Kajal, are you there online? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can begin with your presentation. Thank you.
Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, you can start.
Good afternoon to everyone. I'm Kajal Kochar, research scholar from OSGU. I'm going to share my paper, which is entitled Prejudice, Social Changes and Uncertainty in the Acquisition of Effective English Speaking Skills. The introduction part includes language prejudice seem more resistant to change than other kinds of prejudice. Members of the majority culture, the most powerful group, who would be quite willing to accept and champion equality in other social and educational domains, may continue to reject the legitimacy of a dialect than other their own. The high level of dialect prejudice found toward vernacular dialects by both mainstream and vernacular speakers is a fact that must be confronted honestly and openly by those involved in education about language and dialects. The key to attitudinal changes lies in developing a genuine respect for the integrity of the diverse varieties of English. Knowledge about dialects can reduce misconceptions about language in general and the accompanying negative attitudes about some dialects. The next is research questions. What are the research questions in my research paper? What refers linguistic prejudice? Does it implies in educational system? How can reduce misconception about languages and prejudices? Effect of social changes on English language. The purpose of writing to recognize the everyday prejudice by which we all effective, the impact of language and literature on society, and how the social media has incorporated in communication field, and the steps to overcome barriers of learning English. Dialect prejudice implies the discrimination based on a person's dialect or way of speaking, and the linguistic prejudice in educational system. While the educational system usually attempts to teach students to use standard English, it is generally not possible for a person beyond the age of 14 to learn to speak another dialect of English. In fact, learning to speak a different dialect of a person's native language is often more difficult than learning to speak another language altogether. Everyone is prejudiced here, including you. Prejudices are useful because they help you keep things simple, but they can also influence the way we have to word certain people, and that can be dangerous. Fortunately, there is something you can do. There are three steps which are used to fight everyday's prejudices. The first and the most important subject step is to fight against everyday prejudices is to recognize them and to acknowledge that we are all affected by them. And the second step is to try to make sure that your own prejudice do not determine by your behavior. Also make sure that you do not spread your own prejudices. Step 3, react. If someone around you hurts other people, insults entire groups, or uses prejudice to define them, react, oppose them, react in your own circle of friends and acquaintances, respond on social media. What is the goal of social media? An ever increasing speed of communication. Facebook lets you communicate quickly, effectively, and most importantly, efficiently, because written exchanges are concise and shared between all the friends you are connected with, meaning you need to write them once. On Twitter, there's a 140 character limit. So even if you're not against the clock, you are quite literally forced to make the statement brief. What is the effect of social changes on English language? It is a social requirements that raised English language to its present status. A glimpse into the background of it shows that the society underwent a lot of changes, and the impact of those changes resulted in the layering position of English language in the global context. It is an interesting phenomenon to look into the role played by society in promoting English language to its present unique status. Uncertainty in the acquisition of English speaking skills. People experience uncertainty in every aspect of life, and researchers have investigated the concept in domains of psychology and communication in various contexts, such as decision making, health contexts, business, organizational settings, and relational issues. Uncertainty is also a key concept in educational settings, as it is unavoidable in life and it is a natural characteristic of learning contexts. There are certain steps to overcome barriers. First of all, it is organize your learning materials, get out of your comfort zone, learn from your mistakes, read from your favorite books in English, and try to think in English. The conclusion part includes the paper aimed at exploring and understanding the factors which create language barriers in real life. Language barrier can create problems of miscommunication, such as misunderstanding, misinterpretation of messages, distorted messages, misinformation, confusion, distrust, uncertainty, frustration, weak and wrong feedback, aviation and marine accidents and disasters, deaths, tension, conflict, and violence among people. They can lead to factors that hindering effective communication. The best strategy to promote effective communication and get messages across is to bridge the language barriers by using simple, clear, concrete, accurate, familiar, and meaningful words, avoiding grammatical and spelling mistakes, giving and receiving feedback, avoiding ambiguous words, regional dialect, and avoiding shouting and sarcasm and mimicry, explaining confusing messages to people. The future of individuals, groups, societies, and nations depends mostly on their ability to communicate effectively with others in a globalization and communication era. Thank you everyone who is present over here and for giving me this opportunity to present my paper, and special thanks to Dr. Nally Hart, who has always been there for guiding me. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Kajal. It was a wonderful presentation. Now we have another presenter with us, that is Mr. Vikas Dhanda, a PhD scholar, and he will be speaking on scope of emotional intelligence in a day-to-day life, a review. He will be presenting through offline mode.
Good afternoon to one and all present here and to those who are connected through online mode. Respected Dr. N.P. Giriji, Dr. Bendaji, Dr. Rekha. First of all, I will like to thank Om Sterling Global University for providing us such a wonderful platform to present our articles. अपना आर्टिकल शुरू करने से पहले मैं थोड़ा बताना चाहूँगा कि मैं सुबह से इंतजार कर रहा था भी कब मेरा नंबर आएगा। जैसे ही एक रिसर्चर यहाँ से जाता मेरे को लगा दिस टाइम मैम विल अनाउंस माय नेम, फिर मैं वही अब बोलना है गुड मॉर्निंग। थोड़ा टाइम निकला, सर ने बोला अभी नहीं आएगा, फिर आया गुड आफ्टरनून, अब बोलना मैं गुड आफ्टरनून बोलना है जाके। अब सर बोले अभी भी आपका नहीं आएगा, फिर मैंने सोचा गुड आफ्टरनून भी छोड़ देता हूँ, गुड इवनिंग याद कर लेता हूँ। तो चलो गुड आफ्टरनून में मेरी बारी आ गई। थैंक यू वेरी मच। तो the title of my article is Scope of Emotional Intelligence in Our Day-to-Day Life. I am Vikas Dhanda, research scholar from Department of Psychology, Om Sterling Global University, Hisar. Emotional intelligence is a somewhat new concept. You all must have listened about the intelligent question, IQ. But I think most of us have not known about the emotional intelligence, that is EQ. So first of all, the very first question that comes in our mind is, what is emotional intelligence? So emotional intelligence refers to an ability to recognize the meanings of emotions and their relationships, and to reason and problem solve the basis of them. Emotional intelligence is involved in the capacity to perceive emotions, assimilate emotions, related feelings, understand the information of those emotions and manage them. कहने का मतलब सिंपल भाषा में यदि बात करें, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस मीन्स भी हम अपने इमोशंस को अच्छे से समझ सकें, साथ ही साथ दूसरे को इमोशंस को भी हम समझ सकें, और उसके साथ हम अपने जीवन के डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स में आगे बढ़े। तो देयर आर बेसिकली 5 concepts या 5 components of emotional intelligence. One is self awareness, second self regulation, internal motivation, empathy and social skills. A brief about these 5 components. Self awareness, you all know, means be aware of our own emotions. Second, self regulation means to manage our impulses, and self motivation means to get motivated after awareing about our emotions. empathy, to understand the feelings or emotions of others also, relationship management, to manage others' emotions, organize groups, and negotiate solutions. So I have studied different research articles related to my topic, and the findings of the most of the research is like this. Means emotional intelligence is strongly positively correlated with social sport perception, academic achievement, psychological well-being, leadership qualities, problem-solving behavior, adjustment in stressful situations, controlling aggression, managing relationship with others, and understanding others' feelings, and our overall adjustment in different aspects of life. Coming to the importance or scope or role of emotional intelligence in our day-to-day life. These are some points which will show the importance of emotional intelligence in our life. So for example, emotional intelligence enhances a person's social efficacy. It increases the quality of social interactions. Emotions are important in life because they affect our ability to pay attention, manage our relationships, and learn new things and remember them. And they also have an impact on our physical and mental health. High emotionally intelligent persons tends to be better at protecting oneself from stress situations, displaying less aggression, more self-control, and high self-esteem. Emotionally intelligent people would be able to cope up with stressful events through alternative strategies for regulating negative emotions. Children with higher IQ have superior attention spans. These are some of the findings of different researchers. Emotionally intelligent person, emotional intelligence is a strong source of inner stability that enables us to support one another effectively in a dynamic environment. And there are many more other examples, many more other studies that show that emotional intelligence has much to do in different aspects of our life. But due to limitation of time, क्योंकि थोड़ी देर बाद में कह देंगे conclude, so that's why I am concluding my article, my presentation here. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful presentation. Now we have another presenter with us, that is Akshit, and he will be presenting on effect of yoga on insomnia and knee pain in osteoarthritis of knee patients. Akshit, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. आ रही है आपकी आवाज.
Okay, Akshit, you can start with your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, good afternoon to one and all present here. This is Akshit Saran and my friend Ajay Kumar representing our topic on effect of yoga on insomnia and knee pain in osteoarthritis of the knee patient. Mainly, सबसे पहले हम ये देखते हैं कि osteoarthritis होता क्या है. This is nothing but wear and tear of cartilage which is present in the joint. Mainly जो हमारा ऐसा देखा जाता है कि जिनको osteoarthritis से जो ग्रसित होते हैं उनका जो नी पेन है वो सबसे कॉमन होता है. इसका ये कारण एक कारण ये भी माना जाता है कि जो osteoarthritis में कि आपका जो कार्टिलेज होता है जो एक कुशन के जैसे काम करता है आपके जॉइंट्स के बीच में, जो आपको जर्क से बचाता है. लेकिन जैसे धीरे-धीरे कार्टिलेज टूटने लग जाता है, उसके कारण हमारे को दर्द महसूस होने लगता है. और मेनली जो नी है ये सबसे मोस्ट कॉमन एरिया है जो इससे ग्रसित होता है क्योंकि हमारा बॉडी वेट जो है वो सारा का सारा हमारे पैरों पर आता है. पैरों में भी हमारे जो नीज हैं उस पर ज़्यादा देखा जाता है ये, नीज और एंकल्स पर. सो इसीलिए मेरा जो टॉपिक था वो ओस्टियोआर्थराइटिस पेशेंट पर ही था कि मैं योगा का इफेक्ट देखना चाहता था उनके नी पेन पर. एंड ड्यू टू दिस नी पेन इट इज़ वेरी कॉमन दैट उनको इंसोम्निया की दिक्कत आती है, स्लीप डिस्टर्बेंस. सो this was my topic. So my objective of the study is to see the effect of yoga program on knee pain and insomnia
in patients of osteoarthritis of the knee. So osteoarthritis of knee के अंदर क्या क्या उनको दिक्कतें आती हैं, इसके बेस बिहाव पर ही था कि मैं योगा से उनके ऊपर कितना इफेक्ट डालता हूँ. Background of the study. So here we can see few studies example. They claim that कि ये सिर्फ इंडिया या पर्टिकुलर एरिया की बात नहीं है, बल्कि पूरी ग्लोबली ऑस्टियोआर्थराइटिस जो है वो एक क्रोनिक डिजीज बनकर उभर के आ रहा है पूरे होल ओवर ग्लोब पर, पूरे दुनिया में, विच इज वेरी रिसेंट स्टडी. एंड ये भी देखा जाता है कि इंसोम्निया और नी पेन कुछ ऐसे मोस्ट कॉमन सिम्टम्स हैं जो ऑस्टियोआर्थराइटिस में होते हैं. सो इन माय स्टडी मैंने 30 ऑस्टियोआर्थराइटिस पेशेंट्स थे, उनको लिया. ओए का मतलब है ऑस्टियोआर्थराइटिस, जिनकी एज जनरली 35 से 50 के बीच में थी. उन्हें मैंने योगा इंटरवेंशन दिया. उसके बाद मैंने प्री पोस्ट स्टडी करी है, एंड देन द डाटा इज कंपेयर्ड यूजिंग डिपेंडेंट टी टेस्ट, सिंगल ग्रुप डिपेंडेंट टी टेस्ट. So these are intervention which I have given to them, like asanas, in which I included Pawan Muktasana series, then few pranayam and kriya. So now, according to my data, in the result, if I can see that I have used 2 questionnaires mainly. One is Wong-Baker Face Rating Scale, and another one is Pittsburgh Insomnia Quality Index. These were the 2 questionnaires which I have used, जिसमें वोंग बेकर फेस रेटिंग स्केल में ज़्यादा सिग्निफिकेंट चेंज देखने को मिल रहा है एज कंपेयर टू उनकी स्लीप है. उसमें चेंज तो मिला है, लेकिन इट वाज नॉट दैट मच सिग्निफिकेंट. So conclusion, improved Wong-Baker facing rating scale and Pittsburgh Insomnia Quality Index. So at last we can claim or say that योगा सच में इफेक्ट डालता है उनके ऑस्टियोआर्थराइटिस में जो नी पेशेंट होते हैं उनके पेन में, और दूसरा उनके स्लीप के ऊपर. हालांकि जो इंटरवेंशन था वो स्मॉल टाइम के लिए था, इसलिए उसका जो इफेक्ट है वो काफ़ी थोड़ा पड़ा है, लेकिन अगर हम इसे कंटिन्यू रखेंगे तो इट विल बी मोर बेनिफिशियल टू फॉर द पेशेंट्स. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, Akshay. It was a wonderful presentation. Now we have another participant with us. That is Shivani Sharma. And she will be speaking on role and importance of creative thinking ability in the modern education scenarios. She'll be presenting through virtual mode. Shivani, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for providing this opportunity to present my research paper here. I am Shivani Sharma. I am a research scholar, PhD education from Sterling Global University, Hisar. The topic for today's paper is role and importance of creative thinking ability in the modern education scenarios. Albert Einstein once said, "Creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought." Creative thinking is a creative product
Now another participant we have, I think that Shivani has got disconnected. Another participant we have, Chetna Garg. She will also be presenting through virtual mode, and her topic is role of techno-pedagogical skills for enhancing teaching and learning. Chetna, you can begin with your presentation. You are inaudible, Chetna. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Chetna, scholar from a researcher from Homesteading Global University. Today, my topic is role of hello, am I audible? Sorry, by mistake.
Yes, you are.
Role of pedagogical skills for enhancing teaching and learning. So basically, what is pedagogical skills? Techno-pedagogical skills are basically the skills, technology to be used in schools, in education system. So basically, technology itself does not have transformation potentials. So it is being transferred to a medium, which in the schools, in education. Techno-pedagogical skills are approached to make great education accessible and reasonable for all. Thus, in order to transfer people into productive citizens and teachers must have overcome these obstacles and strengthen their techno-pedagogical talents. So how to overcome with this, how to involve in this? So we have innovative pedagogy. Innovative pedagogy is the educators use a combination of subject matter expertise, teaching and learning methods, and technological knowledge, know how to design learning environments that foster creativity and innovations among the students, whether they are classroom or online. So this innovative learning occurs when students are able to recall all the concepts they have been taught at a long period of times. So this innovative pedagogy strategies, what we can include is a team teaching, dissertation method, cooperative learning. These are the few methods which we can involve in order to do a more innovative learning to the students by the students from the teachers. So why we need this innovative pedagogical skills? Basically, first question is how we teach. How can we make the classroom a place that is full of motivation and encouragement? How do we teach? So all these questions can be answered only with innovative pedagogical strategies, because teachers and students are encouraged to study. And this study is basically done through research and use of all the available tools in order to discover something new in the classroom. Simple rote learning method is something which we get bored. It's basically today, if I go work, if I discuss it right now with me, I'm going with online work. So this online study is basically what I am able to present myself with a far distance because of these innovations. This innovation only we need to add in the education system, which is a need of today. So today, students' problem-solving abilities and creativity will be enhanced as a result of this whole process. Students will get into education, more into educations. So this is basically involvement of more students. So what is techno-pedagogical skills? Techno-pedagogical skills are the capacity to use the technology for the pedagogical reason and integrate it into the classroom. So this is what are the key elements for its ICT based pedagogical design. The learning needs, the public target, the learning objective, the content, and how they measure the outcomes. So how innovative use of techno-pedagogical skills, how we can use this in innovative ways. We can use in the teacher rewards. We can give the rewards to the teachers so that they get motivated for the teachings. Infrastructure updation for the techno-pedagogical skills. Infrastructure need to be developed language and content skills in English. English is basically a very important medium in today's scenario. Learning to teach with technology, bring away of pedagogical service that are currently available, resources for the techno-pedagogy that are never ending. Campus and college departments should be effectively together. Promote existing ITC services. So in whole, I conclude that technopedagogical is very important in today's scenario. The use of technology in pedagogy is a critical aspect of development of a hybrid approach of a meta teaching. Aside from teaching technology-related regulations, government and higher education institutions will need to devise strategies for effective techno-pedagogical skills development, media development, and long-term sustainability. Finally, technology will never be substitute for high-quality instruction. No electronic delivery system can provide satisfactory outcome unless the instructors are techno-pedagogical adept. Thank you.
Thank you so much, April. It was a nice presentation. Now we have another participant, that is Divya. She is also going to present through online mode. She is a scholar of OSGU. Divya, are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, okay, I think that Divya is not connected right now. Next participant we have is Kanchan Punia. She is also a research scholar and she will be speaking on ecofeminism in English literature. Kanchan, can you hear me?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Of course, I can hear you. Thank you so much.
You can begin with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. So, good afternoon to everybody. Today, my topic is ecofeminism in English literature. Ecofeminism is really another word for an old understanding. It first came to prominence during the 1980s, basing it on a radical view of women, the ordinary. Illuminating the basis of reason based their strategy and power on various related and hierarchical dualism, nature and culture, significant separation process, and heartlessness, human, anti-animal. Ecofeminism takes a vast assessment of the social title and the imagination of the people, the opportunities of eco-women, that natural hypothesis along with the opportunity of women, which is the result of a new era. Along with this, it was also given an approximate confirmation for producing a genuine vibe of harmony among the people in the given advice. Ecofeminism in English literature. This paper first evaluates ecological feminism in English and American settings and the values, the turn-off event. Then at that point, it explains the conflict between environment and female opportunity. Finally, through the speculative value of ecofeminism, it analyzes the impact of ecofeminism on the current critical level of preparation. The potential for ecofeminism first proposed in the West is reflected in Indian essayist Kamla Clever Nectar in Asifta. Furthermore, the paper also looks at how the Indian English novels add another perspective to the ecofeminist discourse, which involves a radical takeoff from the general concept of ecofeminism in the West because of the gender division of work and largely neglected work done by women everywhere. Ecological vulnerability sometimes hit them first and harder than men. Ecofeminism seeks that interrelationship and attempt to create a plan that looks at the pairing of women's opportunity and common concern. In contrast, as various authors are deleting the renaming depicts of females and other less predictable facts as recorded in printed copy, experts are examining the subtle ways they manage to portray climate in their work. Many manufacturers do both and see the correlation of the two are infutable. Here is an outline of book that will give you in thinking about the relationship. Chipko progress can be traced to women's organization activism in India during the 1970s. Basis to the preparation of everyday people, the Chipko headway was perhaps the earliest show of general activism that pressed against the majesty of the state in an abundance-free effort. The protest against the deforestation of sections of the site known for land destroying, floods, and heavy slides, it has now become an important occasion for grassroots environmentalism. In the new year, voices such as Meghdha Pathak, C.K. Janu, Mahasweta Devi, and Anuradha Roy played a fundamental role in many ecological feminist reforms sweeping the country. Ecofeminism is concerned with the power and abundance of women, which the uncontrolled misuse of nature through masculine techniques and mindsets. An additional to the holistic approach has been added in general to the direct ideas of ecological feminist advancement in the country. While organic construction can take place in a variety of ways, Indian construction part that meet traditional concerns that have dependable effects. Many scholars of the past, such as Vibhuti Bhushan Barupadhyay and later communists such as Amitav Ghosh, have in their books, which actually tells about our fall and betrayal of nature. Makers track the ecofeminist synthesis. They not only revoke common industrial practices, unlike supervisory bodies, but also give abusory a voice with a place to mingle with each other. Men in this novel specialists in control, fear, contempt, and brutally built by being crucial of the generation order, while nature and the environment are intertwined with women and the non-human. There are lots of discussion regarding the same, but Geeta Mehta, Ek Dhara Sutra is a collection of 6 short stories which was circulated when the Narmada Bachao Andolan was at its peak. The Narmada River, which serves as a brand name boundary between North and South India, is not just a site of biodiversity. Beyond its anthropological development and general importance, it's a site of comparative social importance. The construction of a dam for this dam causes the destruction of the social history of the local people who originally owned
Very
the
sorry,
land.
Kanchan, to interrupt. Please try to wind up.
Okay, ma'am. So let's come to the conclusion. The major gathering of making has shown that the introduction clearly participates in expecting portrait for women in India and widen their extraordinary portraits. In this section, we focus on whether receptivity of additional female heads changed, driven by imaginary issues expectable by dentists about the tracing of inevitable more women around in the society. As such, views are sometimes difficult to measure observationally. We use social psychiatric inference to resolve aggregate system causal effects towards the perpetual of female pointers. These are my references. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kanchan, for such a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Now we have another presenter with us, that is Divya. She's also a scholar from OSGU, and she will be presenting through virtual mode. Divya, are you there? Can you hear me, Divya? Are you connected with us?
From
Okay, you can begin with your presentation.
My topic is yoga is a science and art of life. Abstract. From the ancient time, Eastern culture is practicing yoga for good health, mind.
Divya, you are inaudible. I think that there is certain network issue with Divya. Now we have another participant, that is Sarita from education, and she will be speaking on well-being, a way of qualitative life. Yes, Sarita, you can begin with your presentation.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Due to lack of time, I will try to wind up my presentation in 5 to 6 minutes. So today I'm focusing on well-being, a way to qualitative life. For that, I have reviewed all the literature for the purpose of my study. I'm not going much detail in that. The following are the keywords for this research paper, that is well-being, qualitative life, and the indicators of qualitative life. So before going in the topic, what is well-being, I would like to focus on what is the significance of being well. So these are the few key points which we can say that a person is either well-being or he is having well-being or not. These are the he or she will be unable to successfully overcome the difficulties which he or she is facing in his life. It is much needed for a peaceful life. If an individual wants to enjoy his or her life fullest, he or she must be in situation of well-being, a state of well-being, and it is much needed to grow the fullest of his potential, and for the last, for satisfaction of the life. In introduction, we can say that well-being is a state. It is a state of being comfortable, happy, and satisfied with the life and with the self and the society. It is directly observed, but can be indicated by a feeling of happiness, health, socially connection, and with purposeful life. The state arises from the thoughts, emotions, acts, experiences one encounter in life. What are the challenges we are facing, and how we are dealing with those challenges make up state of our well-being. So these are the few definitions. I'm not going in that. I'm coming to the dimensions of well-being. These are the majorly 8 dimensions of well-being. The first one is physical well-being. When we say a person is physically well, when he is able to do his physical work, daily day-to-day work very well, and he is quite healthy and he is free from disease or any prolonged ailment. And in the right hand side, how can we achieve physical well-being? We can achieve physical well-being by opting healthy food, by having healthy eating habits, and have regular exercising. The second aspect of well-being is emotional well-being. Emotional well-being is a state in which a person have control and a balance on his or her emotions, and how quicker he or she can overcome from the disappointment which he or she is facing in his life. It can be achieved by learning balancing emotions in the life. We should not stick to our past. We should let go our past if something bad has happened to us, and we don't even worry much about our future. We should plan for the future, but we should not much worry about that. Third one is social well-being. Social well-being is related to the ability to adjust in society. It is related to our good social context which we are having, and also it enjoying the company of others. It can be achieved by good communication skills, with mingling with the other people, and developing social skills. Now, social skills are like skill of communication, skill of gratitude, skill of empathy, etc. Now, the next aspect of well-being is mental and psychological well-being. It is related to the utilization of our mental abilities, how much we are able to learn to the new things, how much we are easily adapted to the novel situations, and how we are adjusting with the society and with our inner self also. It is also related to the self-esteem. Self-esteem is a feeling about our own beliefs, our own abilities. We can achieve it by connecting with the people, by remaining physical active, keep on learning new skills, and creative positive feelings in us. Also, we can achieve it by doing mindfulness. Mindfulness is related to a state of living in the present moment. Now, the next is related to financial and professional well-being. It is related to the financial security and freedom of the choice. How much I have to spend on a particular need, it is related to that. It is also related to the work-life balance. It is related to the balance between our work and our life. And how can we achieve it? By providing a good education to all, by developing professional skills needed for a specific profession in which we are having now, and with when join which seems interesting. Means we have to go in that profession only which we are interested in. It will also help in maintaining our professional well-being. Now, the last aspect of well-being is spiritual well-being. It is related to sense of.
Sarita, you are kindly
Ma'am?
requested to wind up. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Actually, all these concepts are interrelated. They are interconnected to each other. At the picture is showing, and these few are the indicators of well-being, which can be indicated on a person. We can observe from these indicators that either a person is in the state of well-being or not. These are the few schemes initiative by government of India to maintain the well-being of all the individuals, but a lot of work is needed in this aspect. And these are the few roles of the stakeholders. Stakeholders here are different. For example, if you're talking about educational institutes, those stakeholders may be the government who are making policies, to the teachers, to the head of the schools, and the parents also. So these are the few roles of stakeholder which can be utilized to maintain the well-being of our learners. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarita. Now we have another presenter with us, that is Vatsala Gupta, and she too will be presenting through virtual mode. Vatsala, can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am.
Okay, yes, you can start with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. ये गुड आफ्टरनून ऑल ऑफ यू एंड मेरा टॉपिक है योग एवं प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा द्वारा शारीरिक और मानसिक स्वस्थता। योग का नाम लेते ही हमारे दिमाग के अंदर यही आता है कि हमारे शरीर से जो भी विषाक्त पदार्थ हैं या जितने भी हमारी क्रियाएं हैं वो सारी हम योग के द्वारा शांत कर सकते हैं। शारीरिक और मानसिक, आध्यात्मिक और सामाजिक, व्यवहारिक तथा हर तरीके से स्वास्थ्य को आकर्षक बनाना ही योग का मेन मोटिव होता है। योग एवं प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा हमारे अंगों यानी कि हमारी बॉडी को एकदम सुदृढ़ और सक्षम बनाकर शरीर की आंतरिक प्रक्रियाओं पर अच्छा प्रभाव यानी कि शुभ प्रभाव डालती हैं। मन हमारा शांत होता है, विवेक का ज्ञान होता है। विवेक यानी बुद्धि यानी कि योग्यश्च चित्तवृत्ति यानी कि वृत्तियों से निवृत्त होकर और योग के दृष्टिकोण के अंदर हमारा मन शांत होता है। इस उचित और अनुचित का भान होता है यानी कि हमारी मानसिक शांति को अगर हम देखें तो हमारे मन के अंदर हमें अनुभूति होती है कि किस तरीके से हमारा जो है योग को हम अपना हमारे शरीर हमारे जीवन में अपनाकर हम इसको किस तरह से इससे हमारा मन किस तरह से शांत होगा जिससे शारीरिक और मानसिक स्वस्थता कायम रहती है। और इस टॉपिक यानी कि योग और प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा का महत्व यानी कि प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा भी साथ साथ में उसी प्रकार से महत्व करती है जिस प्रकार से हमारी योग यानी कि दोनों का मेल ही एक्चुअल में शारीरिक और मानसिक स्वास्थ्य को सुदृढ़ बनाता है। योग से स्वास्थ्य में सुधार और रोगों की रोकथाम, रोगों के उपचार के लिए कई साधन, कई आसान, उपयोगी व मानसिक शारीरिक स्वास्थ्य उत्तम बनाने का एक सुगम रास्ता है जिसके अंदर अष्टांग योग हमारी सहायता करता है। अष्टांग योग के जो यम नियम प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार 8 अंग जितने भी मानते हैं वो आपस में एक दूसरे से इंटर रिलेट करते हैं। और प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा जो है, प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा के अंदर षटकर्मों द्वारा हम मोटापा, गैस, कब्ज, अम्ल पित्त, उदर रोग, कमर दर्द, वात रोग, श्वास रोग, डिप्रेशन आदि यानी कि हाइपर ब्लड प्रेशर, हृदय रोग आदि से मुक्त होने के लिए हम इसके अंदर सिद्ध रहता है। बेसिकली जो इस टॉपिक का रिलेशन माना जाता है वो जो शारीरिक रूप से हमारी स्मरण शक्ति बढ़ना, हमारी बुद्धि का तेज होना, मानसिक अनुशासन यानी कि मेंटली हम लोग डिसिप्लिन्ड रहें, मानसिक संतुलन रहे, हमारी जीवन का जो मेन उद्देश्य है संतुष्टि यानी कि सेटिस्फेक्शन हमारी जीवन के अंदर आए, ये चीजें, थकावट से मुक्ति यानी कि शरीर एक समय के अनुसार यानी कि हर तरीके से कहीं न कहीं हमारी क्रियाओं का एक अच्छा तालमेल होता है, जिसके अंदर हमारी मानसिक और शारीरिक रूप से हम दोनों तरीके से थकते हैं। तो उस थकावट से मुक्ति योग और मानसिक संतुष्टि, परम शांति द्वारा व्यक्ति की दिनचर्या की भागदौड़ और झमेलों से थकान मुक्ति देता है। यानी कि इसके अंदर जो आसन होते हैं, यानी कि जैसे मान लीजिए शवासन है, पद्मासन है, सुखासन है, इनके द्वारा व्यक्ति पुनः तरोताजा और ऊर्जावान अपने आप को महसूस करने लगता है। शारीरिक क्रियाओं का उचित कार्य यानी कि योगाभ्यास या योगासनों द्वारा शारीरिक अंग सुदृढ़ होते हैं, साथ ही समस्त शारीरिक क्रियाएं और अंगों के कार्य सुचारू रूप से होने लगते हैं। प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा यानी कि नेचुरोपैथी को अगर हम बेसिक माने तो योग और प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा दोनों ही आपस में जुड़े हुए हैं, परंतु प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा के कुछ सिद्धांत हैं, उनके अनुसार शरीर, मन और आत्मा तीनों का स्वास्थ्य से सामंजस्य का नाम ही पूर्ण स्वास्थ्य है। यदि हम स्वस्थ रहना चाहेंगे तो हमें इन तीनों को आपस में इनका सामंजस्य बनाकर रखना पड़ेगा। प्राकृतिक उपचार में इन तीनों की स्वास्थ्योन्नति पर बराबर ध्यान रखा जाता है, चूंकि परमात्मा ने स्वयं का अंश इस मनुष्य शरीर को दिया है, अतः शरीर की स्वस्थता अनिवार्य है तथा प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा शारीरिक
Really
स्वास्थ्य
sorry,
के साथ साथ
Vatsala. I'm really sorry, Vatsala. Please try to conclude. We are falling shortage of time.
मैम 2 सेकंड और मिल जाएंगे?
Yes, you can conclude.
ओके, थैंक यू मैम। तो प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा के अंदर जो हमारी माना जाता है, उसके अंदर मड थेरेपी, हाइड्रोथेरेपी, जल चिकित्सा, मिट्टी चिकित्सा, सूर्य किरण चिकित्सा, वायु चिकित्सा, ये सब चीजें हमारे इंक्लूडेड रहती हैं। योग एवं प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा दोनों का उद्देश्य ही जीवन पद्धति का एक ऐसा ज्ञान और विज्ञान है जो मनुष्य के जीवन के प्रत्येक पहलू और शारीरिक और मानसिक तथा आध्यात्मिक और सामाजिक तरीके से सुखमय और सुंदर बनाने का एक मोक्ष रूपी परम लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति करवाता है। थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड मैम टू बी कंटिन्यू। थैंक यू मैम।
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we have another online participant, that is Sona. Sona, can you hear me? Sonal, sorry. Kumari Sona, can you hear me? Okay, you can begin with your presentation.
Runa, kita bisa gerak na apa? Bahang tu. Boleh?
Yes, you can start your presentation.
Your slides are visible.
कैमरा ऑन करके फिर दे।
Boleh na.
रुको कैसे प्रॉब्लम है?
ठीक है।
गुड आफ्टरनून ऑल ऑफ यू। आज का मेरा टॉपिक है माय नेम इज सुमित, PhD स्कॉलर इन पॉलिटिकल साइंस। आज का मेरा टॉपिक है भारतीय समाज के परिप्रेक्ष्य में डॉक्टर अंबेडकर के विचार और उनका दृष्टिकोण। सारांश, वर्तमान युग अंबेडकर का युग है। भारत रत्न डॉक्टर भीमराव रामजी अंबेडकर अपने विराट व्यक्तित्व और उनके द्वारा रचित सभी राष्ट्रों के लिए अपनाए जा सकने वाले शाश्वत संविधान कृतित्व के कारण सदैव ही आदर के साथ स्मरण किए जाएंगे। डॉक्टर अंबेडकर हमारे महान राष्ट्रीय नेताओं में से एक थे और सदैव रहेंगे। हम सभी भारत रत्न डॉक्टर बी आर अंबेडकर को भारतीय संविधान के निर्माता, सामाजिक न्याय के पुरोधा और सुधारक के रूप में जानते हैं, जिन्होंने समाज के उत्थान और समता मूलक सामाजिक व्यवस्था एवं न्याय की स्थापना के लिए सतत संघर्ष किया। और डॉक्टर अंबेडकर के जाति एवं जाति व्यवस्था पर भी गहन एवं आलोचनात्मक अध्ययन एवं लेखन प्रसिद्ध है। इसकी प्रश्नावली में आगे है, अगर हमें बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर के विचार को समझना है तो हमें ध्यान में रखना होगा कि उनका लेखन या तर्क वितर्क उनके अनुयायियों और स्वाभाविक अफवाहों के प्रभावित नहीं था। बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर ने पीएचडी एवं डीएससी की डिग्री लेकर उच्च स्तरीय विश्वविद्यालय के शिक्षा और पुस्तकीय ज्ञान अर्जित किया। इसलिए उन्हें यह भली भांति समझ थी कि अकादमी क्या है और अकादमी लेखक कैसा होना चाहिए। विशेष रूप से बतौर विद्यार्थी उन्होंने कई सम्मेलन में भाग लिया और पेपर प्रस्तुतिकरण की, जो कि बाद में शैक्षणिक जर्नलों में भी प्रकाशित हुए। इसी धुन में सरकारी आयोग के समक्ष बतौर साक्षी उन्होंने अनुभवी आंकड़ों की सहायता से तर्कों की विश्वसनीयता के लिए कई साक्ष्यों एवं संदर्भों के साथ अपने तर्क रखे। तथापि इसमें रोचकता यह है कि बाबा साहेब ने दलित, अन्य पिछड़ा वर्ग, महिलाएं, अल्पसंख्यक जैसे अत्यधिक पिछड़े सामाजिक समूहों के अधिकारों के लिए किए गए सामाजिक, आर्थिक, शैक्षणिक, संवैधानिक एवं धार्मिक संघर्ष के दौरान प्राप्त अनुभव से पुस्तकों के अपने वैज्ञानिक ज्ञान को संजोया। इसलिए बाबा साहिब के विभिन्न संघर्षों के आधार पर तो कहा ही जा सकता है कि सामाजिक, राजनीतिक, आर्थिक, शैक्षणिक, धार्मिक संस्थाओं के बारे में उनके विचार मात्र कक्षीय और किताबी ज्ञान का ही परिणाम नहीं थे, अपितु उन्होंने स्वयं इसके बहिष्कृत व्यवहार की अनुभूति की। उन्होंने यह भी अवलोकन किया कि किस तरह उनके भाइयों ने ग्रामीण और शहरी इलाकों में बहिष्करण को झेला। उनके विचार का दूसरा और सबसे अधिक महत्वपूर्ण आयाम यह था कि उपरोक्त संस्था को समझने का प्रयास मात्र उन्होंने अकादमिक क्रियाकलापों को एक हिस्से के रूप में ही नहीं किया था, बल्कि वे इन संस्थाओं से पूर्ण रूप से इसलिए जुड़े ताकि इनमें बदलाव किया जा सके। अंबेडकर के सैद्धांतिक और दार्शनिक ज्ञान का सहयोग कर हम सब इस बात के से अवगत है कि अपने जीवन काल में उन्होंने सामाजिक, संस्कृति, राजनीतिक, शैक्षिक और धार्मिक संवैधानिक पहल की थी। भारतीय एवं विदेशी संस्थाओं की प्रक्रिया तथा कई संस्थाओं के बारे में अपनी समझ और विचारों का विकास करने हेतु बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर के विभिन्न स्रोतों का प्रयोग किया। इसके अतिरिक्त विभिन्न मुद्दों जैसे कि जाति, धर्म, लिंग इत्यादि के संदर्भ में अगर हमें उनके विचार को समझना है तो हम आसानी से ये अवलोकन कर सकते हैं कि बहुविधा उपागमों को अपनाते हुए उन्होंने विभिन्न ढांचों एवं प्रक्रियाओं से संबंधित ज्ञान का सृजन किया। जब वे जाति के संदर्भ में लिखने की कोशिश कर रहे थे तब उन्होंने इसकी उत्पत्ति से संबंधित शोध के तवज्जो दी। जाति के अर्थ को बेहतर ढंग से व्यक्त करने हेतु उन्होंने अस्पृश्यता की उत्पत्ति के संबंध में साहित्य संग्रहित किया। उन्होंने एक लेख लिखा कि अछूत कौन है, कैसे बने। इसके आगे जाति की संपूर्ण समझ के लिए हमें वर्ण पद सोपानिक व्यवस्था में शूद्रों की जाति स्थिति को समझना होगा। फलतः वे शूद्रों के उत्पत्ति के संलग्न हो गए। उन्होंने उससे संबंधित एक पूर्ण ग्रंथ लिखा, शूद्र कौन थे, वे भारतीय आर्य समाज का चतुर्थ वर्ण कैसे बने। शूद्रों की उत्पत्ति का विश्लेषण करने हेतु अम्बेडकर ने भारतीय विद्या चतुर्थ और पुस्तकीय दृष्टि का प्रयोग किया। बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर ने धर्म की उत्पत्ति को खोजने का प्रयास भी किया और बाबा साहेब ने सामाजिक ढांचे एवं प्रक्रिया को समझने के लिए तुलनात्मक उपागम भी अपनाया। बल्कि उन्होंने भारतीय राजनीतिक क्रांति की फ्रांसीसी क्रांति एवं जापानी क्रांति से तुलना भी की। भारत में अस्पृश्यता की थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. Mr. Sumit. With this presentation, the technical session ends, and our valedictory session will begin at 3:15. So let us wait for some time, and we will be beginning with the valedictory session at 3:15. Yes.